Hello.
Howdy doody.
Thank you, Paul, for that. That was a very lovely song and an introduction for tonight's talk. It's the 2nd of September 2018. I'm PJ. This is an Axiom Curb special, a tribute to Lopi, the tits of the gang. And she came beginning of this year for a good friend Jeff, who's also with us tonight, although he's not too well, been told. Many other people are joined. We've got Stav, Paul, Ollie from the Daily Brexit, Jouster, and some others, and possibly some family members of Lopi as well. So just like to thank you again, Paul, for that, and welcome you all on the show. How are we all doing?
Hey, I'm okay, guys. I hope everybody else is. That was a nice little number. Show my respect for Lopi, and she was ready to go home, and she went gracefully. Bless her. May she rest in peace.
Nice intro, Paul. Thanks, mate. Good intro.
Nice one, thank you.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It was Last of the Mohicans, actually, the theme tune to Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Great, lovely intro. Well played, and good evening, everyone.
Evening stuff.
Evening, stuff. Evening, PJ. Evening, Ollie.
Evening, guys.
Hey, guys.
Evening all.
All right, Stav.
You all right, Jels?
Yeah. All good.
Good news.
Okay, guys. So we've got most of the usual gang gear that Lopi had. Pleasurable. I think 8-9 months of being the tits to the gang. And I'm gonna open it up now. If you look at the top left where you see the cloud, for the viewers that is, you'll see a little link. If you want to come on, just put that into your address bar and it should bring you on. And we can all discuss and just remembering Lopi really for the good times that she gave us, and also over on Daily Brexit as well, which I know she really enjoyed going on, Ollie, and she did thank you personally for setting that up and allowing her to be part of that. I know that meant a lot to her, especially in the final days when she was wanting to help other people in a situation where she weren't as fortunate to have that help for herself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was very brave. She was very brave. She was great fun, huh? She was just great fun. It was really good fun.
Yeah, we're going to be playing a few playbacks. I've got one piece what you passed me out earlier, Ollie, from your Daily Brexit. I'd like to play a bit of that. That was a political outburst, a final political outburst, as there was many outbursts from Lopi.
Oh, I used to love her outburst when she used to play husband and wife with Jeff over here.
Lopi.
Jeff and Lopi, husband and wife.
Oh, dear. Well,
that was funny, Dad. They was funny.
Just so our viewers know, I was a partner of Lopi for a few years. She lived with me over here in the UK. She always considered UK to be her home, and that she felt that she was British, which is very strange because she was Taiwanese, actually, born in Taiwan, and she lived after me and her sort of split up. She went to live back in America with her adoptive parents, and sort of near her adoptive parents. She had her own place, and I think Lopi would like me to tell it. If Lopi was here, she'd say, "Right, don't go blowing roses up my ass."
Yeah.
Tell it as it is.
That's right. Tick you off, mate. She'd definitely tick you off.
Yes, she'd tell it as it is, blah, 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 blah. And because that's the sort of person Lopi was. So, I mean, in the few years we had together, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of good times. But like most couples, we sort of, I don't know if all, but I sort of competed with her a bit on quite a lot of things. Because the thing is, Lopi had a very, very strong personality. And I've got a very strong personality as well. And that doesn't always work so great, because you find that the best sort of couples really usually find you get one with a dominant personality and one with a sort of submissive personality, I think. But so we had heated moments, let's put it like that. If Lopi was here, she'd say, "Yeah, it is always my bloody fault."
She was definitely no wallflower, let's put it that way.
Eh?
She was definitely no wallflower.
Oh, blimey, no, definitely not a wallflower. She went backwards and coming forwards, mate. If she had something to say, she'd say it. She'd let you know. No doubt about that.
But heart of gold.
Oh, yes. Had a heart larger than life, mate.
Yeah.
I'm ready with that. And that's not blowing roses up her ass or anything. That's just telling it as it is, you know. But we had a lot of good years together. We did a lot of sightseeing together, which she loved. She loved the sightseeing. And we went all over the place. We went to Stonehenge, Glastonbury tour, Stratford-on-Avon, where she got to see the home of Shakespeare and all that. All over the place. Loads of places we went. Berkeley Castle. She loved Berkeley Castle up near Gloucester. And
they still got the butterfly aviary there?
yeah, well, they did when we went there, yeah.
Oh, that was lovely. I went there, absolutely. Got to be good over 20, nearly 30 years ago, and it was lovely back then in the gardens and the butterflies.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she considered that her castle.
I don't blame her. At least she's got a good choice.
She's royalty, Lopi. She's Queen of England, I think.
Yeah. She loved any insect that could fly, you know, butterfly, bees in particular.
Well, she had a very fond thing, which we come to learn near the end, when she used to go on about the bees. And I think she's got a good point there, because she thinks we should somehow protect the bees and everything, because they're sort of being wiped out, aren't they, at the moment? So she's very passionate.
Yeah,
I remember one.
Well,
If the bees die, we die.
5G, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what she used to say, Joustar. The bees die, we die.
Yeah.
It's very true. Very true.
I think it is Einstein who said something about that originally. He said, what was he said? It's an Einstein saying. Something about if the bees go,
We follow. Yeah.
So there might be some truth in that. He was a genius, Einstein. Lopi was very smart, actually, very intuitive, very smart, very switched on. She was no Billericay Thicky, you know. So
She was a really ardent Brexit supporter as well, wasn't she? She really was.
Oh, she definitely understood it, didn't she?
Yes, indeedy. She's a strong believer in independence.
Yeah.
Might come a lot from her sort of American, the American life that she led over there in America. As American people tend to be very independent and
Right.
I
guess it wasn't so much that she was I guess it wasn't so much that she was for Brexit. She was for sovereignty, for self-sovereignty. Yeah.
Yeah, she was very much a constitutionalist. She knew all about the American Constitution, much more than I know, and I learned quite a bit from her.
Yeah, that's
She
right.
also knew more than I did, plenty more about the kings and queens and the royal family, quite extensively. Well, Nikki just said that one of the last things she said that she remembered the Lopi talking about the bees and insects and things was that next time you smell lavender, I think I'll be there, along those lines. So
yeah, she did say that. Yeah.
But yeah,
I remember one of her posts to do with sovereignty. She says, "We don't want some of it. We want all of it. We want it all back." That's on the timeline. Yeah, I think that kind of got to her as well, because for ages all she were hearing is, you know, trying to get some of this sovereignty back with leaving EU bits of it. She goes, "No, we don't want bits of it. We want all of it."
Yeah,
that's you know, she didn't stop short. She never stopped short, Lopi.
She was a very passionate about England and our independence and Brexit and all that, which was brilliant, which I sort of totally agreed with her on, because I'm the same. So amazingly, one thing me and her did agree on. But yeah, she's very very smart, switched on in a lot of ways. I think she believed strongly in freedom as well, which, like, with freedom comes self-responsibility and all that. That's sort of Lopi all over. She was always sort of very self-responsible, very independent, very strong-willed. Blimey, willful, that's an understatement for Lopi, but...
she did. If you didn't agree with her, she lost patience with her, she'd order you in the kitchen to make her a sandwich.
That's true. That's very true.
Get in that kitchen and make a crack and pop and make it. Bless her.
I'm going to refresh a moment. Back in a sec.
Oh, PJ.
Is he coming for me?
Hello.
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 Yeah, I'm still getting the echo.
There we go. I've just refreshed.
Speak now. No. I think I was echo off. But now I'm.
You always use.
I'm going to switch my mic off when I'm not talking. That'd be the best bet.
PJ, is it absolutely essential to turn one's mic off when not talking? I mean, if
No, it's
quiet.
not essential. No.
Okay. Thank you.
Not unless you've got two screaming kids in background, like I may have.
Ah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, what was the other thing, Jeff? Oh, that's right. And she never ever got Ziggy a boyfriend, wasn't it?
Yeah, I tried to persuade her, but she said no. One's enough. She said.
Poor old Ziggy.
Poor Ziggy. She kept coming into heat and started screaming at the top of her head for a mate, and she wouldn't let her have a mate.
But she never used to go out on the tiles, did she, Ziggy? She was in the house all the time.
Yeah, she was an indoor cat. Yeah. She's like a Siamese. She's a Siamese.
Aye.
I don't know. She used to charm the sweets out of Ancy, didn't she?
Yeah, that would charm the sweets out of anybody.
Is she all right, Jeff? Have you got a home now?
Apparently, she's the cat's going to be staying with Tracy, which is Lopi's sister. So that's good.
Oh, good.
Where she'll be looked after properly and taken.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that because I think some of you might remember the time when she fell asleep and she had that dream about Ziggy. Yeah, I think did Ziggy get run over or something in a dream?
Oh,
and we might have even been doing a live talk at the time or just something, off air. I think it were actually. Come to think of it, and she woke up and she told us that she'd just had a dream about Ziggy being run over, something to do with a car. I think it were at the time. But yeah, so to hear that Tracy's took her it, that's good news.
Yeah, I think her care worker was going to look after her, but apparently that all fell through. So Tracy's looking after the cat now anyway.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's funny because I don't know if you've noticed on my timeline on Facebook, but in the last few days, in fact, since Lopi left us, I've had come into my life and my garden a couple of kittens. Their mum hoisted them over the fence here, and one at a time, I guess, and all of that migration thing. I think that they were just shy on 2 weeks. I think now I'd say they're just over 2 weeks old. I'm not sure, but anyway, but these little things, I was thinking of maybe calling one of them Loopy and the other one Lou. It's quite funny, but I've been thinking about Loopy quite a lot because I know that she's absolutely wild and I've kind of become like, David Attenborough in the garden here with these little things. Keep my distance, not respecting nature, not touching them or anything like that. But just making sure that they're okay,
I think I've seen that on your timeline, Ollie.
Oh, Jeff, I tell you, they're so cute, man. They are so cute. These ninja kittens. Lopi would be absolutely in love with these little things. So I know that she was big time into her animal.
I'm animal lover, Lopi.
Oh,
definitely.
Especially what was it? The dodos. Oh no, the puffins, the puffin penguins.
Oh yeah, she liked puffins, and she liked the sloth as well. That was one of her favourite animals, the sloth.
Yeah.
That's a nice animal. Yeah, that's a cool animal, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. Lay back.
It's a bit like me, first couple of minutes of the day.
Been around so slow that the algae grows over you, eh, Ollie?
Oh. Aye.
What's the name of that funny-looking creature in Star Wars? The little screwed-up thing.
The little screwed up.
The little one? Not Chewbacca, no. No, the little
No,
one.
not Chewbacca, a little tiny greeny thing.
An Ewok?
Is it Ewok?
Ewok, is it?
That's what I get met with every morning when I look in the mirror.
Have you got stunted growth, Paul?
No, I had to lay off the sauce.
Lopi used to come out with some corkers, didn't she? I think she did it best.
Yeah, bless.
He used to give Stav a good tickle now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Glad I introduced her all to you all, because she considered you lot like family, you know.
The only thing I regret we're doing that didn't do it early enough. I mean, you'd been with us for years, and it's like last 9 months or it is, you know. I mean, I thank you for bringing her on, like, but she would love, you know, you just want more of her. You could never get enough of what she'd got.
She was very addictive in her own way.
I'm going through a timeline and going over some comments and things and stuff she put up, and one of the things were to do with somebody posted something on Daily Brexit, Ollie, and she sort of like not outed him because she didn't name him as such, but I don't really recall it. I've only just spotted it today, and in that little post she put up, she goes, I'm Frank or something, which we all know, Lopi. She was Frank. If she had something to say, she'd say it. So I guess a male name would have been Frank, because that's the sort of person she was.
Here, PJ, did you find that video that you were looking for on the Daily Brexit?
I didn't find it, Jeff. No, I've spent a good hour and a half all evening on me trying to find it, backtrack it, and that. I came to the conclusion that it wasn't something that ended up on YouTube. It must have just been a Facebook thing at the time. I can't remember, but I did try. Unfortunately, I didn't. But I have got another piece. I've got a last political outburst, which I'll play shortly.
Ah, right. Okie dokie. I was going to say that was a classic episode with Vince. When Lopi set about on Vince, and I thought, oh no, he's all kicking off.
That was quite funny, yeah. Poor old Vince. I mean, yeah, she did well. I mean, she really gave him what for.
Just a bit.
He deserved it, Ollie. Waffles.
Yeah.
If anybody does find it and hears it, just post link in comment section below for this video.
I think she finished him off. I don't think he ever.
Well, I said that to Ollie. I goes, weren't that the final time he came on? But I think obviously he made an appearance, but probably when Lopi wasn't on.
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you what, I think that she put the fear of God into him. I really do.
Well, he did. He goes, I'll not bother coming on or something, didn't he? If people don't want to hear what I've got to say, something along them lines, and then he just dropped off, and then that were it. I weren't even expecting it, to be honest, because Vince, he were a difficult guy to try and get into a word in edgeways. So for Lopi to come on, I think what it were is weren't Vince having a dig about people stepping over people on microphone, and then he went and did it himself, and then that were it. Lopi was straight on to tell him.
I'll tell you what I found with Vince was he slowed the show up somewhat terrible. I don't think he meant to, but he did really slow the show up quite a lot. And of course, Daily Brexit is quite a fast-moving, show, you know. So.
Can I finish, please?
It was with Lopi on it.
Definitely. I think the thing that made Lopi the tough, powerful figure that she was when I first knew Lopi, we used to chat in UK 25 on Yahoo Messenger, and that room was a war zone. And quite literally, a war zone on the microphone, the war zone in chat, and everything else. Everybody used to boot everybody out of the room, and it was it was, you know, literally, yeah, it was a case of sink or swim in that room, and I think that toughened Lopi up even more. So she became quite a force to be reckoned with after Yahoo Chat.
I'm a bit annoyed actually because the last time she came on here and I was on air, she was getting loads and loads of feedback, so I couldn't talk to her and I had to leave because of all the feedback was doing my head. And I'm annoyed because I didn't get to speak to her.
Right.
Hey, mind. She knows my spirit was with her.
Oh, she does, yeah.
I think one of the things that made her very good in confrontational conversations was that she was a very good poker player, wasn't she, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, she got me into playing poker, actually, yeah. She didn't.
Oh, so it was her.
She didn't need to see their poker face or anything. She used to wipe the floor with them, actually, on poker.
Wow.
Right away up the rankings, right away up to legend, I think, or something, on poker. Very good.
Yeah, I don't think you ever got on the first page, Jeff. She was at the top.
Yeah, I only managed to get to world champion status or something, but she got to legend, which is even higher.
I know she could play chess at Jeff, but sadly I never had her again. She's one thing I would have liked to have done. Was she any good then, yeah?
Well, at chess?
At chess?
Not too bad. Intelligent lady, don't get me wrong, was high IQ on Lopi, but she went. I don't think chess was her I don't think that was her best thing.
No, I know. Until she beat you that day, and then she took a snapshot and put it up on the timeline.
Oh yeah, she did play the odd blinder. She played the odd blinder, and it was amazing when she did. She did do very well at times. Yeah.
Right, so we're going to play a political outburst if my computer works okay, and hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I know the viewers at home will most certainly be able to hear it. So I'll get a play.
Nice one.
If you get any troubles in hearing it, just let me know. Hopefully I've got it on cue. And thanks, Ollie, for sending me this.
Hey, not at all, mate.
Alright, I'll get it go. Do you want to mute up if you're not going to be talking? It might reduce a bit of feedback. But if you want to interject, just, step up and I'll put it on pause.
Yes, indeedy. Oh, we got Lopi with us.
We've got Lopi with us. Lopi Lou. Lopi Lou. Hello, darling.
Hello?
Hey, Lopi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
All right. Thank you, my darling.
How are you?
I wanted to have my last political outburst.
You did. Very good.
So your title, Democracy Will Be Honored.
It was a bit optimistic,
PJ.
but we got a bloody go over it.
Well, the idea of democracy is for the people, by the people.
Yes.
And all that.
PJ,
that's the
you've
idea.
met
That's the foundation. But what you fail to realize, the people that are the ones who constructed it, having.
Sounds put that on pause. Are you not hearing this clearly at all, guys?
No,
very broken up.
That's sad. How are we going to get around this? I know the viewers would be able to hear it, but I want you guys to hear it as well.
I wanted to hear it.
I'll try and figure another way of doing it.
How were you doing it? I
was just playing it back out of a speaker, loudspeaker, back into my mic, but.
I see. Why can't you? I see. You don't have voice meter or something like that.
No, sadly not. I've got a lot of things running at the minute, but that's not one of them.
PJ, if you tell me exactly where you want it played,
just from that timestamp, that 3:18 from first video that you had, the one that you posted out with.
I can play it because I can mix it in from here, and I imagine it's the same difference.
Brilliant, lovely.
Yeah, exactly. I thought transfer the audio file.
Yeah, cheers, Ollie. Thank you, if you don't mind.
Let's see if I can have it. Because it's actually the very last show. It was a Billy bonus, wasn't it? It was a late night show, and beer in hand. And I did wonder if Lopi would come on actually, because I knew what was going on, and it was I don't know what clip you wanted particularly to play, PJ, but she spoke in some detail in the second half of the show. It was an 8-hour show, yeah. She came on at about 3:18 after about 3 hours or so, and was on for the remainder of the show with old PJ, yeah, who was on for the entire show. Predator Jeff, rather. Thank you, Jeff. And we had a right laugh, and it got very rude as well. And we'll talk about that maybe more later, and embarrass Jeff. And she gets into religion as well, and she is on form. So let me see if I can let's see if I can cue that up.
Living the religion.
Now, hold on, you could hear that, yeah?
That sounded clear.
I'll tell you.
He killed my what? He killed my.
No problem.
Well, stop looking in the mirror then.
Right, hold on.
You can leave any time you want, Ollie. We just keep talking. You know?
I'm going to go for a pee in a minute, and maybe I don't know. Jesus, I can't have any more wine. I might get myself coffee, but no, we can carry on. I'm happy to set up another stream. I mean, you know, whatever.
Have a bit of honey in the coffee, please. I don't do sugar.
Any second.
I've got a few jokes that can keep us going for the next hour. No problem.
Well, stop looking in the mirror then, because we're tired of your jokes.
Oh,
go on, Lopi. Give us a joke. Lopi, give us a joke from America.
Oh God, I don't know.
Jason, we're friends. We're friends. I've just friended you, and I had blocked you. I think it must be because of this Facebook security thing that I did. I wonder how many other people are affected by that. But anyway, we're sorted. Yeah, good. And I apologize for that. Sorry, carry on.
Jason,
dirty jokes. Yeah.
I got a couple, but I'll go with the cleaner one, I think. Because the other ones are just a bit too crude for our audience.
Jeff, go for the shortest and the funniest one.
Well,
I'll make a cappuccino.
I'll go for the short one, right? Bloke's driving along with
Right. Okay. PJ, had you did so 318 is that's where I am.
318 is a political outburst. 318 on the first video, not the second link that you've got, yeah.
Oh, this is the second link. I apologize.
Yeah. On the first one, 318, that's when she comes onto the show and she talks.
You're right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Awesome. The Vienna Convention exceeding. Just hold on.
So we thing, and then which is like going in through the back the way we should have done it from the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. My God, I tell you what, Westminster, was there ever a more malfeasant den of snakes?
Yes, indeedy. Oh, we got Lopi with us.
We've got Lopi with us. Lopi Lou. Hello, darling.
Hello?
Hey, Lopi.
Can you hear me?
Lopi.
Yeah, you sound good.
All right. Thank you, my darling.
How are you?
I wanted to have one of my last political outbursts.
Oh, Lo, what's going on with you?
So your title, Democracy Will Be Honored.
It was a bit optimistic, but we got to bloody go for it, eh?
Well, the idea of democracy is for the people, by the people.
Yes.
And all that. That's the idea. That's the foundation of it. But what you fail to realize, the people that are the ones who constructed it, having the same ideas that they were speaking out of their side of their mouth. Now, we have a true democracy in this world, whether we're Westerners or we're Easterners from the East or from the Middle East or wherever, the idea of democracy is just that, for the people, by the people, we having a say.
Yeah.
We don't have a say. We voted, we got fuck all. Sorry.
All right, we're late now.
Now they're kicking the dirt and shrugging their shoulders, and House of Lords is laughing. While we're sitting here like sitting ducks for these Antifa, communist loving, let's go and behead anybody that says anything about Islam, actually do something about it. Because this voting, this marching, all this stuff is the same bollocks that they had that happened before the storming of Bastille, before the War of 1812. It was before the 1066. It was everything that we are dealing with now is the same thing before we had bloodshed. Some people that are very religious, they're saying, "Oh, we're in the apocalypse. This is what it's in the Bible. This is what they're trying to it's the four horsemen."
Do you believe that
sort of scenario?
Lopi?
Honestly, it has. I
it?
do, in because there's no denying the similarities written in the Bible and what's going on. We are being whitewashed of all our cultural differences, the things that make us different. We are being brainwashed to think that we are bad. This is what is happening in this, and it says in the Bible that the Antichrist is going to be coveted. He's going to be brought in, wanted. Well, look at what's going on. Islam is a peaceful religion. If they follow Allah, they're not following Allah. They're following Muhammad, warlord.
That's right.
They're not following the word of God. They're following a warmonger.
Yes.
The Mao Zedong, no difference than Kim Jong-un. They're no difference than Adolf Hitler, Mussolini, or Lenin. No difference. These are warmongers.
But are they not though? Have they not been set up, Lopi? I mean, for example, I understand that Wahhabism, Salafism, was set up by the CIA to radicalize this group, originating from Saudi Arabia, which is now infiltrating more peaceful Muslim people, and in turn us. And is it not fair to say that they are pawns too, and that from what you're saying, such, the Muslims are pawns, a little bit like the Germans were being used as pawns in World War II, as were the Jews being used as pawns in World War II. It's quite ironic, I think. No? What's your take on that?
But the reason they're the ones who are what is basically, they're the little life. Look at it in a military form. Okay, we're on a battlefield, and in the front line, what do you have? You have the army. You have so many army men that it's okay to lose a couple thousand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pawns.
Because that's collateral damage. So you throw in all your army, all these Muslim people that's doing the beheading and all the fear mongering and all this stuff. Get out of our neighborhood. We're taking it over. Those are the army men. You got the imams. They're the ones that are the generals. They're the ones who are telling everybody, this is what you've got. You've got to hate them. You know, you gotta beat your wife because she told you no. That little 5-year-old, 12-year-old girl,
No,
because you can. Generals, they're the ones that are telling all the army men what to do, and the army men, because of fear, told that this is what will happen to you. They've seen it happen to other people. They don't want it to happen to them, so they're going to do what they are told.
Lopi, have you heard of Barbara Specter? Have you heard of Barbara Specter, Lopi?
Why is she significant?
Yeah, this is a Jewish woman, Barbara Specter. She said that Europe will no longer be societies of the past, or word I'm paraphrasing here, but she said Europe will no longer be prolific states of the past. Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural, and we, the Jews, will be central to that. And
that's the Rothschilds talking.
Yeah, she literally come out with it, saying that they were behind.
The thing that is, people are, what you're failing to notice is that people are emphasizing all these nobodies, like that woman.
Right. Well, I mean, these.
She is a nobody, because she is trying to listen. She is trying to get your back up to cause chaos. Out of chaos comes a need for control. We did not have a need for the Third Reich until we had lost all control in Germany. We had no need for a war until there was no control.
Right.
Allow them to lose control. Chaos is the
or apart from the fact that she's a Jew, apparently. So I've just looked her up now. Let's see what it says. Born in 1942.
Anybody could say, I'm a Jew, I'm anti-Semitic, I'm a this and I'm a that. Now, I don't even want to waste time on trying to do a biographical lookup on some stupid woman.
Lecturer. She's a philosophical lecturer who is the founding director of Hidea.
Philosophical lecturer. It doesn't matter. I'm not on the internet and going on press conferences. Right, my point is you're feeding into it, Jeff. And don't feed into it.
The European Institute for Jewish Studies in Sweden, a non-denominational academic institute established in 2001. Anyway, I'm not going to read all the stuff about her, definitely, but she's obviously somebody who's well known. And she said that the Jews are central to this, and they do. They put information out there, and they hide it in plain sight. Because what I've noticed is got this thing about karma, yeah, like getting you to consent to do stuff,
without you realizing what you're consenting to.
Sorry, what's that, Ollie?
Without you realizing what you're consenting to.
Well, quite often they use deceit and things like that to attain your consent, or they'll use tacit consent and things like that. But so what they do is they put stuff out there in plain sight and get you to consent one way or another, to so that it washes their hands of any dirt. Do you know what I'm saying? So if they go ahead to do some of these evil, diabolical, consented to it, so they've got clean hands. Yeah, this is how this is their mindset. When you get into the mind of the elite, you sort of suss out what they do. They're basically worried about bad karma and all this shit. Yeah. So what they do is they wash their hands of it via getting consent. So how did they get their consent to spray us with all these chemtrails? I don't know, but somehow they must have done that, made a public.
Yeah, they did.
How can you get consent when the public?
Are you really not
Go on,
to think that they give a shit to get consent? They're paying the people who say, you can and can't do this. They pay the government. Where do you think the government gets their money? Don't be so naive.
Well, I mean, you're calling me naive. I'm, you know, I don't
You're
think
acting, you're saying that they're having to get consent from somebody, from us.
But
They don't need it, but they don't need to. You don't get it.
Yeah,
You're on the dole. Who do you think you get the money from? Not from these suckers working. Where do you think they get the money from? Money doesn't grow on trees. Money comes from their pocket, from the people that are making these decisions. They don't need to ask us, is it okay to poison us under the table? Okay, it's a lot easier for us to poison ourselves by taking tablets we don't need.
what I mean.
By doing, but the point of it is, they're not asking. You're saying that we're getting that there's receiving consent. We're not giving. They're not getting consent.
Well, it's. I mean, I don't know how they do it in every specific way. They use different ways.
Own it.
Getting your consent, but they do get.
You got 90% of the companies owned in the world are owned by 5 people. 5 families own 90 to 100% of every company within the world. And guess who's on the top one? And guess who's married into every royal family, every millionaire, billionaire family that is out there?
Rothschilds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You think they need to ask permission to go and spray chemtrails? Do you really think they need to go and ask permission to put poison in our foods? No, we are pawns. We are toys to them. You don't ask a child, is it okay to change your nappy because you've crapped in it? You just do it.
This, Lopi, listen to this, right? Now, I don't want to dirty my hands, but say I wanted to bump off Ollie, right? And I thought, how can I get Ollie? Ollie won't willingly put himself. So I say to you, Lopi, Ollie for me, and you say, yeah, sure, I'll go and do that. Instantly, you're the one with the karma because you're the one doing it because you consented to do it. Yeah? So this
karma is a made man. Karma is a made-up thing by man. It's just like Sod's law.
Yeah,
they
believe in it for some reason, Lopi. They believe in this sort of stuff.
Are you one of them?
No, am I one of what?
I know they believe in it.
Because this is to do with Kabbalah. I've read up.
How do you know? No, how do you know they believe in it? They could tell you one thing. Oh, I believe in this. I believe in that. But then again, they're telling you that. That doesn't mean that they actually believe it. They could say, I believe that the crap that I poo in my toilet is a God-given right, and I should take it out of the toilet and worship it.
Well, this is
that because they said so. But it doesn't mean that they actually believe it.
I mean, I don't believe in karma. I believe in cause and effect, but that's not the same as karma. That's a different thing.
It's the same thing.
Well, no, cause and effect is you cause something and something random happens, right? But with karma, it's
not random. Something does happen. It is the third law, Newton's third law. You're just changing the words.
Well, yeah, but with karma, it's more of a reflective cause, if you a reflective reaction, if you like. So if you do something bad will happen to you. And with cause and effect, it's a random set. It's like the butterfly effect. It can cause one thing to cause something else.
I don't believe it.
Necessarily come back to you though with just an effect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's the difference how I see it. But anyway, that's all the by and by. I mean, but
if you were on back to your let's murder Ollie. I love you, Ollie, by the way.
It's just a hypothetical situation, you see. What I've done.
Here's the easy way to kill Ollie.
I've used Ollie as an example, as an analogy of
Can I speak?
Hang on a sec. I used you as the example of the military and me as the Rothschilds, yeah? So effectively, right, I've turned around to you, the military, and you, the military, agree to bump Ollie, the people, yeah? See, so you were the one that agreed to do it. You consented to me, but you've taken the karma on you. So anything you do then belongs to you. You own it. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's not karma. It's not a thing called karma. It's called actions and responsibility.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would still no, but by a true a true law.
Yeah.
Well, and so would you. But we all know that the powers that be own the law, so they don't get in trouble. It would only be me. Now, if I were going to kill Ollie,
yeah,
first thing I do is I take him out to the pub and get him sloshed, because it's easier to go and kill somebody that's your friend.
Right. Well, my point is this.
Let me finish.
What you said.
Let me finish.
Oh, go on, then. Go on.
And then it would go easier to go and go take him out to the pub and a couple times, be friends, get him drunk, and then introduce him to say said tablet or whatever, lower his immunity system.
Right.
Let him to eat bad things. Let him kill himself.
Well,
all right. That way, my hands are clean from actual physically killing him.
Right. Can I ask you a question, Lopi? Right. Yeah.
Look, I just want to say at this juncture, I'm really pleased that neither of you killed me, yeah? This goes on, yeah, folks, so I don't know how much you want me to play, PJ. PJ, are you there, mate?
Yeah. Play some more, Ollie. I'm okay.
Well, I can leave it running. What are your guys' plans? Because I do need to grab some dinner, but I'll be coming back. So what I could do is I could leave it running. But this turns into I don't know if you remember. You're getting a really hard time here, Jeff. Too.
No, play it.
No, I think that's enough. I think we ought to get back to what we were talking about before. But that gives you an idea, anyway, doesn't it, about how vociferous Lopi was.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm just looking after kids as well as trying to, take part in this.
No worries, PJ, mate. No worries.
It's up to you, mate. If everybody's in agreement, then I'm more than happy to listen to the rest of it. As I missed most of that show myself.
I would just like to say,
she does
maybe we can have
quite feisty. But carry on, Steph.
I want to listen to more death threats towards Ollie.
Hang on, Jeff. You changed your name to Stav now. Now, well, I'm buggered now. I was going to say, well, it'd be good to, while you stop now, Ollie, just have a few words about actually what she was talking about, and that's the thing I appreciated from Lopi, that she just didn't know stuff. She lived it because she was quite worldly. She'd seen a lot more places in her life than I'd ever seen and will likely see. I mean, she lived in Turkey, Germany, America. She was born in Taiwan. There may be other countries that Jeff could fill us in on. And she knew about Islam because she lived in Turkey. And she was very, she was up on most of that side of it because she had to live amongst it,
Yeah.
And I just pick up on what you said about the Wahhabis and the Salafists. This didn't start from, Ibn bin Saud, and that Islam conquest goes back to the 7th century. A lot of people don't realize that from the 12th century to the 16th century, 17th century, they invaded the whole Indian continent. India was under Islamic rule for 700 years. This is long before this Ibn Wahhab, Abdullah Wahhab, whatever his name, came along, and the King Saud and the rest, and the conspiracy involving the British Army and Lawrence of Arabia and all that stuff. So, she knew that, and she used to bring that to the conversation, which only Lopi could, because she lived in an Islamic country that was controlled by Islam. So it was great to have her on board for, it was only 9 months, I think, what PJ said. And my life was certainly enriched many times over for knowing her, even in such a short period, because I learned quite a lot about you know, foreign history, because I've always been English history has always been my thing, and she taught me a lot, Ollie. So, you know, about the Islamic conquest. I mean, people don't understand that. You know, today they get fed this CIA Mujahideen story, which is recent, but it's happened hundreds of years. This religion ideology has conquered a lot of countries. In actual fact, the Second Caliphate was the biggest conquest of them all, bigger than the Empire of Rome. It went all the way up to the centre part of France until it got stopped by an African. Oh, sorry, not an African. No, not an African. A Frankish king called Charles Martel. But anyway, I'm not going to go into the story. And it spread all the way up to the steppes of China, so, and all the way up through the Balkans. So, you know, I think people should, if they want to know about Islam and the history, then please, you know, delve a little bit more into it. And Lopi brought that to the table, which was massive, Ollie. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. No, absolutely, she did. Well, listen, guys, I need to go and get something to eat. But if you're going to be around for the next half hour or so, I'll come back. PJ?
Yeah, it's fine. What you want to do, continue that when you get back, or leave it running?
I could either way, mate. Either way. If I leave it running, it's only going to run for. Let's have a look. It's going to run for about 10 minutes.
I think that's good enough anyway, Ollie. To be honest, because we've shown people what Lopi was about and how vociferous she was, and you know what she brought to the table.
Yeah.
She's a good debater, very good debater. She had a lot of enthusiasm for debate and discussion and open dialogue and all that. And I think that sort of more or less covers it, really. I don't think we need to really play any more. I think we'll just carry on with the group chat about it, about Lopi, and you know.
Links will be in description for that talk anyway.
I tried to, PJ, but you know what YouTube's like. It won't let me post a link.
No, I should have done it myself, so I apologise for that. It will be up, though. I will attach it.
Okay.
Oh, Ollie, while you're still here, are you still there, mate?
I am, yep.
There's somebody down by you who was discussing all this Islam stuff, and I can't remember his name. Stav, I know who he is, but he's down by you in Spain.
It's Simon Harris down in Barcelona in Catalan.
Oh, Simon Harris.
That's it.
I don't know who that is. What's he doing in Barcelona, Stav?
He's been there. He's an expat like yourself,
right.
And he's been there for 25 years. Married a Catalonian girl, and they've got a nice family. And he was very much a classical, liberal, socialist type thinking guy until all of a sudden,
Really?
he woke up. And if you Google Simon Harris, I can send you a link on YouTube. You'll find he does live talks. He's quite philosophical, very well spoken, very well educated, and he knows what he's talking about. And he's an excellent researcher too. And I'm, you know, you don't meet these people until you look around on YouTube. So check him out, Ollie. He could be a good neighbour to know, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fantastic. I think I might have found him. I'm not sure, but I'm just, I might have found him. There's somebody called Simon Harris written a piece called Catalonia is Not Spain, a historical perspective. It sounds like he might be the kind of guy that would have done.
Yeah, he's a sort of like-minded to yourself, Ollie, in a lot of ways, and similar to how we all.
He is, like I say, he's not on catch up because he knows a lot about the Catalonian history far more than I do. He can see what's happening around him. He said in Barcelona now it's gone from, I don't know, about 8% to 35% African, Moroccan, Tunisian, sub-Saharan people, and he's totally at a loss how the streets have changed and how people get pestered for not buying junk basically, and how they go about making you buy it. All sorts of things going on in Barcelona with the immigration. And of course, he's up on the Las Palmas, which was a terrorist attack, wasn't it, about a year or so ago? The guy with the car, wasn't it, or something? Anyway, he's I would say he's right up your street, mate. So it'd be great.
I'll tell you what, I'm sure I've just found him on Facebook. I've found somebody whose timeline fit, and one of his posts is, I propose Senator John McCain's brain tumor for this year's Nobel Peace Prize. That is probably him. I'm going to share that anyway. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's got black hair, and I think he's more my age, getting on a bit, late 50s, early 60s, and he's got glasses. So there you go. You should find him from that.
Yeah, I found him, mate. I've just sent him a friend request. He looks terrific. He apparently used to work at Barcelona City FM, so that would have been a radio station, I guess. Yeah, and he is the former owner at Barcelona's, which is a travel guide, apparently. So he's, I don't know.
That's him. Yeah.
That sounds like our guy. Yeah. Can I just interject briefly, guys? PJ put a message in the Jitsi box. He said, "Kids need me at the moment." He said, "Keep talking, guys. When Vid finishes, as I'll be back shortly. We are still live too." There you go. So PJ's gone off briefly, and he'll be back with us in due course.
Well, guys,
I'm in and out, guys. Ollie, just before you go, I've got a question. Some viewers from Daily Brexit might be listening to this as well, so I think it's kind of key point important for them as well, and especially for Lopi. She would love to know that you're carrying on with your shows. Please tell everybody that you are.
I'm going to, mate. Yeah, no, I am. Brilliant. I've had to do a couple of things, and also I figured it's kind of silly season, and it gets to the stage a little bit like, well, I mean, you need a break anyway, but it's like almost like treading water with this Brexit process, because it's just rhetoric. None of it means anything really until certain points. And one of those points is coming up, with these party conferences. We should see some explosions and the new parliament, of course. So definitely going to be back for that, and really, really looking forward to it, because it is so bloody entertaining for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I'm getting so frustrated with it, but on the other hand, it's just a charade, isn't it? I mean, there's loads of comedy value here for all the wrong reasons, quite aside from how bloody serious this is. Seriously serious.
Well, it's Project Fear 2.0, isn't it, Ollie?
All of it, all of it. I mean, so much of it. I mean, just at every turn. You can barely put on the BBC now without feeling physically sick. I put on Radio 4 earlier, and they had Esther bloody Ranson on Broadcasting House or whatever it was this morning. A woman that anyway, we won't go into that right now because maybe it's lowering the tone, but it's just incredible. The BBC is just
that is a moronic woman. Sorry, Stan.
Well, it is a remote. It's a remoronic. Remorons in plenty is the BBC. They just make me want to. Anyway, so yeah, PJ, God bless you, man. And yes, and if anybody's got any guest ideas, for example, like Simon Harris, please don't just suggest the guest, but for crying out loud, ask them on my behalf. That'd be awesome, because one of the things I want to do is have as many guests as possible. Same kind of format. Then second half of the show, crack into the green room and get more people involved. Have a bit of a round table. But basically, just ask them if they want to get involved. I mean, anybody that wants to have a chat can. It's not picking and choosing guests this show. If there's any remorons, frankly, that want to come on, then that would be cool too, because they're always game for a laugh.
Ollie, I think if Lopi could have had a last wish, one of them would have probably been, go and get them, Ollie. Keep that show going and go out there and kick some ass.
I'll tell you, we've got to, haven't we? As many of us that can do it as possible, the better. And I mean, PJ knows. It's just so important for us all to be sharing notes to try and get out the message any which way we can. And Lopi completely supported that.
Lopi absolutely adored your show, and she adored you, Ollie. You know that, don't you, mate?
Oh, thank you.
Ollie, can I ask a question?
Go on. Yes.
How far do you live away from Catalonia?
I'm the next region, the next province down, Valencia.
What's the chances that you can jump in the car and go do a 4-hour special and talk to the locals in Catalonia and make it a show?
I'd love to. But that would be a day out. That would be at least a day out, if not a couple. Which is
that possible?
No, not really. I tell you, I'm living so close to the breadline. It's not just the road, and there's other things involved as well. I would like to do that. I would really like to do that, and particularly when I did do a couple of shows on Catalonia when the referendum happened, and I'll probably do another 1 or 2 specials.
Why don't you make it into a documentary as well at the same time? Yeah, I guarantee you will get 1 million hits on it.
Oh, mate, it's I don't know. It's
come on, it's a hot topic.
Well, you say that, but I mean, there are so many things that are hot topics, and that we do talk about.
Yeah, but it's right next door to you.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the problem. The problem is getting the publicity afterwards. That's the problem. Because realistically, for example, I mean, YouTube, it's an absolute joke. It's just censoring absolutely anything that we're talking about, this kind of stuff. It's completely censoring it now.
Just go literally do street by street interviews with the locals and get the real perspective on things. No one, that's it's like it's off mainstream media, isn't it?
I hear you, Juster. I hear you, and I care. Part of why I care about Brexit is because for the whole of Europe, and it's part of the this jigsaw to this fight against globalism, this global fascism.
Bloody hell, Ollie! I'll come over. I'll bloody come over and hire a car, and we'll do it. If you can't afford the petrol,
I think you'll find that Simon Harris, he is an adopted Catalonian. Like I said, he married a Catalonian girl, and he's done all during that elections with Puigdemont, whatever his name was, and he covered it quite extensively on the street. He reported, and he's done a great job. If you check his videos, Ollie, you'll find all the info on there. So he's in actual fact, when that was all springing up, when the police, I can't remember what they call the Spanish police, some special name, didn't they? Anyway, they sent them in and gave a bit of a hiding. They really did. And Simon Harris covered most of that. So I was watching his channel all through that. So I
think it was the National Police, what they call the National Police, that were the ones that fired the rubber bullet.
That's right. Because the Catalonian police, I mean, they got a red band around their head or something. The uniform's all different, isn't it? The National Police were like dressed in black uniform, like paramilitary, really.
Right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So that would be the next best thing, if I would say, if you get him on the show. Of course, the other thing is, Ollie, I don't know if you've been covering lately. It'd be great, just as an idea, while it's still fresh. And I don't think it's finished. Can you get hold of one of those scallop trawlermen and let us do an interview with what's going on with the trawlermen and the soon to become the third cod war, I would think, or scallop war.
Yeah, no, it is interesting, isn't it? It is interesting what's going on. I've heard different reports about the fairness of it because, for example, I did hear a report, but this was on Radio 4, which said that the problem, the bugbear that the French fishermen had was that the English fishermen, they used to go and fish for the scallops in that area, which is an international waters area. It's not French, not English, British, whatever. And international waters, apparently. They used to go, the English fleet or boats, rather, to that little area earlier than the French. Maybe they got up earlier. I don't know. But anyway, they didn't have a problem with that, the French said. But then the English started using bigger nets, bigger boats. And that is apparently the bugbear. But I don't know absolutely the truth of it. I'm sure there's...
Ollie, I put a piece on my timeline.
bottom line is that we got to get our fishing back. We got to get our waters back.
Absolutely, I agree.
We've got to get it all back. Lopi, I tell you, we need it all
Yeah.
back. Let's not stop short. We need it all back. And I feel, let me just finish before Ollie goes, and I feel because of Lopi's final political outburst and the discussion that started Islam and Turkey and stuff, that led to, you know, what we're talking about now with Ollie going around, you know, doing that filming. I think Lopi's kind of left you. It is a good idea that you may want to take up.
I wanted to ask something.
We wouldn't have been discussing that if them few things hadn't just took part.
I wanted to ask something actually about that. That bit of water between France and England, we call the English Channel. What do the French call it? Do they call it the English Channel or do they call it the French Channel?
No, it's called something like La Manche or La Manche, which belongs to them from the conquest.
Arc de la Manche.
That's right. And actually, this county where I am, under the EU, is called that very thing.
What does that mean? Arc de Manche, did you say?
Yes.
It means it belongs to the French.
Oh, so they believe that the channel belongs to them, and we believe
Yes,
that
and the south coast of England too.
Yeah.
What, they believe the south coast of England belongs to them?
Yeah. It's all part of the Arc de la Manche.
Yes, it's all written up in the EU original zones.
They can fuck off.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, I would say this. I used to know all the local fishermen where I am. All local, what they call potters, lobster and crab fishermen. If I had £1 for every time a French, Belgium or Dutch trawler ripped their pots away to the point where they used to beam trawl right up the beaches where I used to fish off the beach, and they took my line one night and beam trawled and ripped during all the breeding times of our flatfish, I'd be a millionaire. So I ain't buying that crap from any Vichy EU fisherman. I'm telling you that now.
Right. Well, it's, I mean, I thought when we leave Brexit, if we get our fishing waters back, I was under the, big if, of course, I was under the belief that we would get a 200-mile zone around the British Isles or something.
Doesn't quite work like that in the channel, Jeff.
I was going to say, how would that work in the channel? Because it's not even 200 miles across there, is it, from England to France for a start? But yeah, it does seem like there could be a bit of controversy there until they sort of settle their differences and decide on who's what and what's who's and so on and so forth. But yeah,
They think they have an inherent right to take England back from 1,000 years ago, and you think I'm joking? You really think I'm joking? Who do you think set up the legal system in the country? Everything we spawned from the conquest in 1066, you're seeing now. Everything, even Lopi knew that. Bless her, she knew that through what she knew about the royals and everything. Right. Well, you know, it was a Norman conquest at the end of the day, and it may have been with the consent of the Vatican and the Pope at the time. And, you know, the cross of St. George, do me a favour, but that's another story. But anyway, that's what we're dealing with here. Those French fishermen don't give a monkeys about sharing resources. As far as they're concerned, it belongs to them, right the way up to our beaches. And that's the way it's been ever since I can remember as a boy when I used to fish on my own beaches down here. And the local fishermen got done over, to the point where the local fishermen, inshore fishermen, where I am, does not exist anymore. There isn't any.
Even the BBC took that stance as well.
Like a kipper.
Well, I think maybe it's time for us to throw out our elite and install a good old-fashioned Anglo-Saxon administration in place, and then give the Frankish a good kicking and drive them all out and take it as British sovereign territory, and drive all the Muslims in France and all our Muslims all the way back down through into Spain, and then so on and so forth. Do what Charles Martel did, maybe, but I don't know, just an idea.
I agree with you, Jeff. And the only thing I can say about Charles Martel he wasn't the beginning of the Holy Roman Empire. That was his grandson, Charlemagne. So he was just a guy that could see what was the writing on the wall. And to be honest, if he hadn't have stopped him, there would have been no Alfred the Great. There'd have been no common law. There'd have been no Western world as we know it now. And it's as simple as that. If he hadn't stopped him, and there we are. And people go read your history. Lopi knew it. Lopi knew it all. God rest her soul. And amongst many other things that she left us with. So there we are.
Indeed. I think we need to do what Adolf did with a good old blitzkrieg on the French, to sort the French out, to show them a lesson in it, that they don't own part of England and that we're Anglo-Saxons and we stand up for what's ours. I think we need to teach them a bloody lesson. That's my personal opinion. They've had their way with us for 1,000 years. It's time to bloody fight back, I reckon.
Well, as far as I was concerned, we never was in the EU. Never ever was.
Well, we've never been in the EU. We joined the common market. We didn't join the EU. I never was given a referendum vote to join the EU or not.
That's right. The EU was foisted upon us against the will of the British people. So I don't recognise it. I don't recognise it at all. The EU, to me, it's just a massive con. Even at Ted Heath, I mean, he turned around and said there'd be no loss of sovereignty. Well, that was a blooming lie.
Yeah.
Exactly what the EU's about. It's about tearing up national identities, throwing them in the bin, along with your culture and everything else. That's what the EU's about. Destroying culture, destroying national sovereignty, destroying identity. It's a dreadful, dreadful thing. It make going on holiday pointless if everything's the same everywhere. Destroying all that lovely cultural diversity. I've got no problem with cultural diversity, but it belongs in the place where it comes from. And all this cultural enrichment, well, if you want that culture, go and visit that country. That's what I say. We don't want it in our country because that destroys our cultural identity.
Yeah. The other thing that cheeses me off quite a bit is the way that since the advent of the internet, which is a wonderful thing and used in the right way is fantastic, and we can speak tonight like we are and that, but when they get hold of certain bits of history, if it doesn't suit them at all in any way, they'll rip it to pieces, people, especially the left, and they'll turn it upside down themselves. It's a bit like when Winston Churchill, it's put there that, he said, we can be part of the EU, but never in it. What, oh, no, he didn't mean that. That was this, and he was a murderer, and he was all this, and he done this, and it was all that. He's a Freemason, 33 degree, the old nipple, and all the rest are a bit. God's sake. At the end of the day, that's what he said. So, maybe we should start to be a bit more Occam's razor with stuff rather than go off on these extravagant conspiracy theories to the point of, completely coming up with each and every one of our own individual takes on it and saying, I'm right. No, I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. Yes, I'm right. You're not right there, Stavro. You're not right there, Jouster. You're not right there. Nobody's right, are they, really?
I think his little avatar splashing away like a mad thing there, Stav. Did you want to say something, Joust? Jouster, are you there, mate?
I think he's having technical difficulties on his side. But is there anybody else in the room who's joined who would like to say anything? I can't really see who's on at the minute. But if there is, just shout up and say hello.
Sorry for the rant, guys, but I think Lopi would have liked me to rant.
It's all good stuff. All good stuff, mate. Well, yeah, I think maybe it's time to show the Frankish or French or whatever you want to call them, Normans, show them who's bloody boss.
Yeah.
There's too many guys wearing pantyhose now, though. That's the trouble.
Well, I think what them guys should do, in the fishermen, I think the whole British fishing fleet, what's left of it, what it is, they should go down there to them scallop grounds, support their scallop fishermen, and defend them, regardless of what military says and navals and all the rest, because it's obvious you can't rely on your own government to defend them. I mean, I saw it, you know, they were using flares. I mean, I think one of the boats actually caught light. So, I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, this is crazy.
Our government is now totally perverted. Totally perverted. So, as you say, we can't rely on our government. So, it's got to be organic.
Oh, the other thing is, Paul, about this, everybody says now, oh, morals and decency hasn't got to do with anything today. Legal, legal, legal. Well, the British fishermen were legally there.
Yeah.
Right? So I say to people who want to argue that, it's funny how they say, oh, it doesn't matter about morals. It's what's legal. And then when you quote something that's legal, they say, what about what sort of morals you got? You can't with these people. You know, they're crazy. They're screwed up in the head so much.
But as Lopi said, they speak out the other side of the faces.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think there's a lot going on. We've, out of respect for Lopi, I feel I must carry on and do what I'm doing, whatever it's worth, whatever I feel. As a group, we should keep on doing what we're doing. Because, you know, with Lopi coming in, she kind of made the group much more stronger, type of thing. And also by adding what she brought to the table, you know, there's
that's it. We become like the bundle of sticks, the fasci. The more sticks in the bundle, the more strong we are.
Yeah, because I think if people now just go, oh, well, you know, then it really is disrespecting people that were with us and are no longer with us. And I think I feel that with my parents who fought in the war. I've always felt that, and my and extended family members who got lost and friends who got lost during the war. And I feel I owe this to my own parents to not let this dictatorial. I mean, it cracks me up, Paul. It cracks me up when people like Lopi singled out and showed you democracy. Pah, pah,
yeah.
Democracy. And I always say to people, I tell you what, you want to go and look at democracy, why don't you look at the mother of democracy and have a look and see how Greece is doing?
Yeah, Athens, that's where it came from, isn't it? Democracy.
We are completely defrocked democracy.
Indeed. Well, that's the EU for you. That's what it does. It destroys.
We've been subverted from within.
Centralisation of power, that's all that is.
Yeah.
Centralisation of power, taking control of all nations and turning them into nothing more than like what we've got as counties.
You know what, Jeff, thinking about it now, but they got a saying, they got an excuse for democracy. Any politician, any British politician will say something like, well, it's democracy and it's the best of a bad bunch. I say it's the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with the EU, you're not kidding. Yeah, definitely.
There's the amount of treason that's gone on.
That's the one thing I had to respect about Lopi, was she fought with her last breath. She's the sort of person that would fight for truth. And that fight for truth needs to carry on. Don't be a shrinking violet. Her attitude was, don't be a shrinking violet. Say what you mean and mean what you say, regardless of bloody stupid laws and things like that. Lopi was a one to just say it regardless. She wasn't going to be shut up by no one.
She was a warrior.
She was absolutely a warrior of heart.
She was my Bodicea. She was, or Boudica, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
Oh, definitely. She'd have led him into battle, Lopi.
And the other thing is, Jeff and Paul and whoever else is listening, I haven't gone, is you sorted them out on Ollie's show. You and Lopi. I always used to text you when the UKIP guys come in, or this Veterans Party, DW, whatever. Hit them with, how about putting your manifesto in a lawful contract, so that if you don't bring in your lawful contract, we can lawfully take you to court and have you removed. Not one of them would say that. Oh, I think they'd say, well, we've got something better than that. We don't need anything like that. Every one of them, Jeff, and that hasn't changed, does it?
Wriggle out of it. None of them want accountability, do they? None of them. Do you know something? Tony Benn said something like that. I think it is something like 5 questions or something that you should ask your politician. 1, who do you represent? 2, things like whose authority do you who do you get this authority from, and things like this. And then the last question is, how do I remove you? With any system of government, you should have a method that can be peacefully removed from office, so that you can then elect somebody else and start up a new government or whatever. If you haven't got a method of removing them, what you've got is a dictatorship. End of. You must have a method for the people to be able to say, no confidence, I've got no confidence in this government, and for all the people to get so many votes together or whatever, or some system whereby you can remove them peacefully without it resorting in civil violence and all that. That's the civilized way to do things, and that needs to be put in place so that the people have got recourse and have got accountability, or some sort of say on what goes on in their so-called administration. That's important. I think that needs to be seriously talked about,
Absolutely. Well, you see, the thing is, when you look into these things, and like I say, Lopi was great at looking into and research. There wasn't many things that she said, where did you get that from, Stav, or anything like that. But if there was, she'd come back the next night and she'd say this, that, and the other, and she'd done an extensive research on it. So, but there's things like, the Magna Carta, the Magna Carta. Well, if it wasn't for the Magna Carta, right, the City of London, right, would not exist. The privileges of being a free man in the City of London wouldn't exist. You wouldn't have all the privileges these big corporations have in the City of London if it was Magna Carta. Now, you say that to people now, and they go, well, I thought it was for the common people. I would say to them, go and read it, and read it carefully, and take a notice of each and every word that's put in each and every one of the so-called clause that wasn't put into clause when it was put down.
Even John Harris recognised that it went for us, the people, in the end, and he was at one stage an advocate for the Constitution and that, and then finally realised what a con it is. The clue's in the word con.
Con, yeah.
It's like everything.
Well, listen, I've got a question, you guys. Is the City of London ever going to get you out of the EU? Is the City of London for Brexit? There's a question.
No way.
I think my personal belief is that we will leave the EU, but I think that the bankers will drive us into the ground, destroy our currency. They'll blame that on Brexit, naturally. This is what I think will happen. They'll destroy the pound. The bankers, the city traders, all that. It will all be orchestrated. And I think when that happens, people will blame Brexit, and they'll say, oh, it's bad for our economy. Look what he's done to the pound. And then they'll have another vote in the future about going back into the EU. So I think we will leave, but I think they will try and get us back in at some point. And when they do, it'll be with strings attached, like, i.e., you have to adopt the euro. Because we've had one foot in and one foot out all this time, but I think they would like us fully in, and I think they will capitulate. I think the people will capitulate because they'll be I think we're going to be punished. I think they are going to try and punish us, and it's going to be the bankers behind it doing it. Even though our currency is more or less collapsed anyway and is worth virtually nothing, it's worthless what currency we have got. It's just that it's still hanging in there. So, I mean, this is something that they might have been able to kick down the road for another few years. I think we'll get Brexit. I think they'll orchestrate a collapse within virtually straight away or within a few months or something. Everybody will blame it on Brexit. Oh, we should have never left, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll, as soon as they get public...
They're doing another Greece to us.
As soon as they get public
actually, we're well worse off than Greece was. Well, so they're just going to pull the plug on us, so we'd be worse off than Greece.
Well, it's not working, Paul. It's not working anymore. The Argentinians are in big doo-doo. You know, it's approaching 50% inflation in 2 weeks. And it only started to go through the ceiling from about 40% to 50% in a couple of days when the IMF announced that they were going to give them a loan of a few billion. Once the market realized that the IMF was going to get involved with Argentina, it shot up. So it don't work anymore. It's starting not to work. So these bailouts for the market is is poison. So it's all breaking down. So there you go.
Stav, I think they'll use Hegelian dialectic, which is problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
To try and get us back in the EU. I think we will actually leave, but I think it'll be short term. And I think we'll end up back in. And it has to be short term for them, because the longer we're out of the EU, the more likely the EU is to collapse and for other member states to leave. So they will want to punish us. I think that's inevitable, that they're going to punish us. But
they've got to be careful they don't bite off their own knives to spite the faces, like.
Indeed. This is the thing. It's going to be a bit of a balancing act, you know. But I think the British people might eventually cave in.
Oh dear, no! This is when we've got to show backbone.
Yeah, this is the time which we have to dig deep, and you know, whatever happens, we've got to stand our ground and remain independent, because that's what it's all about, being independent. You know, if they collapse our currency, we throw the government out, we start up a new currency, whatever, you know, whatever it takes, basically, and then get productivity going. That's the important thing. Get productivity and self-sustainability going. Once we've done that, we can hold our heads high, and other countries can look to us as an inspiration and say, you know something, the Brits did it, fuck it, we can do it. And then
this country hasn't failed, it's been purposely made to fail.
Yeah, I think so, Paul. Yeah, definitely.
Well, then it's up to us older generation, while we're here, to convince the younger generation that we have something that the EU can't give you, and you'll never get via money. It's time that, you know, well, we are trying. I think it's time that other people start to come on board, and that's what Action's all about, isn't it? Really, it's about spreading the truth. And if the people will it will happen. At the end of the day, I know that. And if everybody gets apathetic and they allow everybody to be drawn in by some inflated crap called fiat, print to the moon, zeros, values of nothing, then, you know, that really isn't a very great future for the world anyway. I don't care, but what people's opinions are on what currency is and real money and wealth and the rest of it. So it's really down to the older generation to you know, and some younger generation that are educating themselves to get behind individual sovereignty. Because if you haven't got individual sovereignty, you won't have any pleasure in doing anything if everything is homogenized, or all the same. Where the hell would you go on holiday?
Yeah.
What would you do if everybody is the same? What input could you have to humanity. Everything is the same. You know, there's no variety, no nothing. It's insanity, actually. I look on it as insanity. So maybe if it does happen, the world will go absolutely mad, and who knows what happens then, I don't know. But
well, I think the people need to realise that all the banks are broke, all of them. The only reason that they're still going is from bailouts. That's crony capitalism, right?
Yeah.
And even that is not going to save their asses. The banks are going down, and that means countries are going down. As far as their economics are concerned, they're all on the way out at some point or another, and they'll all happen at different times. And eventually it will become a quick domino effect, and everything will collapse very quickly. But when enough countries go down. So I think it's on the cards, but at the end of the day, people need to realise that this isn't their fault. This is the fault of the pernicious fractional reserve banking system that we've had for so long, and that we need a better system. We need something that actually works mathematically on a mathematical basis. Something that was designed to work mathematically. What we've got is not designed to work mathematically. It's designed to just enrich a certain handful of greedy bankers, which is
very few at that.
Well, at the expense of everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
Even at the expense of the currency itself. So that's the way it works. People need to realise that.
Jeff, can I ask you something? There's something I wanted to ask you because you're quite good with this. When it's Jouster or Paul or whatever, when did family working tax credits come about? What year and which government brought them in?
Family working sounds like something Labour would have done. I don't know what year.
Well, yeah, working tax credits, i.e., when your corporation can't afford to pay you a proper wage anymore, the government will top it up. Now, I would say 2/3 of the workforce. I looked a few years ago, and it was 17 million that received assistance.
Yeah.
One way or another towards. Now, if that ain't communistic, I don't know what is.
Well, we're living in a communistic society where they've hollowing out the middle class. They're doing it. And the conservative people say the conservatives are right wing. No, they used to be right wing. What we've got is a bunch of bloody fake conservatives, commie conservatives. You might have the odd decent conservative in there, like Rees-Mogg or somebody like that. But for the vast majority, I would say they're bloody communistic, just as much as the Labour Party now. They seem to be definitely on the left. They've hollowed out. They've made it a very socialistic society, and I don't mean that in a nice way. Social.
I don't actually myself trust Rees-Mogg because I can see little Hitler moustache under his nose.
Well, I mean, Hitler did look after his people pretty well, having said that.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'd rather live under the sort of authoritarian state of Hitler than under the authoritarian state of these commie conservatives that we've got now.
Well, it's creeping communitarianism.
Yeah, that's it, mate. You got it. That's right.
The trouble is, it's not creeping now; it's sprinting.
It's not like the wings anymore. It's more like a propeller. You know, like a helicopter, 2 blades on the same motor. That's more what it resembles than wings.
Yeah.
It just goes around in a circle.
That's a good analogy, actually, PJ. Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. It's just working tax credits. That's what.
Well, this is what's gone on. All the wage repression. They've used everything to repress wages. I think that was all part of the master plan going way back. Yeah. Even when they allowed, feminism to take root. I think all this suffragette movement was probably funded and started by the elites. This is might sound a bit conspiratorial, but I think that was all part of it to bring in their.
No, it's not conspiratorial. You're absolutely bang on the nail there, Jeff.
Well, you know,
the time of the suffragettes was to increase the voting percentage because political parties were getting split up back then. That's
And of course
exactly what happened.
Yeah, and of course.
I followed that years ago, actually.
Well, I've heard that it was also designed for several reasons. One, to break up the family unit. Two, to like you said, what you just said there, and three, to repress wages. So you turn it more back into an employer's market rather than an employee's market. So it had several effects. And then, of course, the mass migration, which further represses wages. This creates a large state.
But then you've got all these zero contract hours and everything, for crying out loud. Where's the security for the future?
Exactly, because you've got so many people chasing so few jobs.
In the future,
repressing wages creates for a big state and the big state dependency. Everybody's on big state dependency now. Virtually everybody's on some form of benefit.
They can use to control you because they can threaten to taking your money away if you don't appear at a certain place at a certain time. They sanction you.
Don't be too surprised if you have to pay to work.
that wouldn't
just try
surprise.
and wrap that around your head because that's probably what's coming.
Oh yeah.
We already do.
No, I mean like for you to go to what? How do you mean, Jouster? Because
it's not directly. It's not a direct charge, but you already pay.
Well, I'm thinking directly, like literally.
Oh well, then they got you fooled then.
Well, it doesn't matter to them, does it? Because that's what they're all about.
You do pay to go to work. Think about it.
Yeah, no, we all pay for one way, whether it's sweat or whatever. We all
No.
pay
It's called qualifications. Student debt.
Yeah, that'd be one. Yeah.
Well, I watched a girl in America who's $93,000 in debt, and she's only 19.
It's crazy, yeah, absolutely crazy.
The parents have had to remortgage the house.
No way.
Yeah,
seriously.
Crazy.
So yeah, you do pay to go to work.
That's how they're getting the money in this country too, out of the baby boomers that done okay and slipped through the net of being repossessed. That's how a lot of them are getting their money back off the baby boomers, because their children or their grandchildren. I want a mortgage like you. I want to own my house. Can you? Yes, I'll do that. And that's how they get it back. Oh, and they'll get it all back plus more, because of course they control the levers and the up and down of the booms and the busts, and they've
got control of the purse strings.
Yeah, absolutely, and exactly what Lopi was saying. So we know the game, and actually on that point, Joust is quite right about paying to go to work. And the other thing is, people in certain European countries of negative interest in their banks pay to put their money in the bank and keep it there now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It is. Meanwhile, guys, I'm just in conversation with Lopi's sister on Facebook. She is trying to work her way in onto this conversation so we can have a good talk about, Lopi for the final weeks that her sister spent with her.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, PJ, keep going. Don't stop because of me. I just got to nip my boys downstairs for 10 minutes and I'll be back. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Minute, guys.
Cheers, Stavo.
Not too sure who's left with us at minute. I know Alice said he had to disappear earlier on.
I think Molly went off to get some food, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think the world's the worst place for not having Lopi in it, but ultimately
she was ready to go home.
Yeah, that's it. I think she used to say, Jeff, my body hates me. She didn't say the body, she used to say her body hates her. She had a lot of bad luck with her health, with the diabetes, and it's a rotten condition. I know she suffered pretty badly with a lot of different alternative effects from the diabetes. And
it just gradually takes over the whole body, don't it?
Yeah, she didn't manage it to the best of her ability, I don't think, with taking her insulin and that. And I think that would have probably helped. But, you know, not that easy. It's not an easy condition to manage anyway, even if you've got the, because you've got to keep an eye on your blood sugar levels constantly and, you know, all this sort of stuff.
Well, having to go through analysis all the blinking time as well. I mean, talk about being draining, for crying out loud.
Yes,
you know, sitting through that boredom most of the time, you know.
She lived life on the edge, though, Lopi. I gotta say it. She lived life in the fast lane. She did a lot of dangerous things, believe it or not. Throughout her time, she did a lot of. She just got in. She just did whatever she wanted to without. She's a bit haphazard in a way, in some ways.
Well, she wasn't letting people hold her back, and that's what too many people do. They let people hold them back.
Well, yeah, that's definitely Lopi would never let anything hold her back. If she was going to do something, she'd do it. You know?
Lopi did do many talks about her diabetes and this sort of journey that she had on that, and trying to find somewhere getting that transplant. She did leave loads of podcasts and things for people who might have similar conditions.
Mm-hmm.
You may want to check up on those. I know that's something Lopi'd like, to know that at least if she could help one person, it'd been worthwhile for her.
Yeah, I try and persuade her to go for a transplant. I said, as soon as you let us know that you want to go for it, I'll put the word out, and I think all of us.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I think all of us in the group would have put the word out to try and get her a transplant and that, but no, she said I think it'd be wasted on me because of her other health problems and that, and thinks it would be better that somebody else have that, that donor transplant organ and things. So,
I know that she used to have dialysis several times a week, and then the biggest break between the dialysis were on a Sunday. Now, every Sunday she spent that with us, and that were her hardest day each week.
Yeah, that's right. She had, I think it's 3 times a week.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then she'd have to wait till next following week. Yeah. So Sunday would have been like, hardest day for her.
Yeah.
It's amazing when your kidneys drop below a certain percentage efficiency, how fast the toxins can build up in your system, you see. So the dialysis is so important. But Lopi had got to the point where she thought, I don't want to keep going through with it. It tired her out. Every time she had dialysis, it was exhausting for her. It wore her out, sort of thing, Doing that 3 times a week, I think that was a bit much for her. But very sad, but she's strong in her own right, and she made up her mind, and that was her decision. We had to respect it. So,
and she kept her own soul.
You what, sorry, Paul?
And she kept her own soul.
Yes, indeed, she did it her way, mate. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, she did leave us with a video, expressing the reasons and several other stuff within it, which I'm not going to play tonight, but
right.
If anybody didn't, come across that video yet, who's maybe family related or just friends that knew her.
Is that still on the timeline?
I imagine it would be, Jeff. Yeah, it is out there.
Right. Okie dokie.
But one thing that really did worry her, and it did get to her.
Lopi was very smart, actually, very intuitive, very smart, very switched on. There's no dinner ready for checking,
Who's this we got? Is this Tracy? Oh, they were in and out fast. I think we had Tracy with us.
There could have been Tracy. Did say that she was trying to get on, yeah. She'll be working it out.
Mm-hmm.
I managed to get a pair of eyes on the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just hang on just in case Tracy is able to rejoin us.
Hopefully she might come back in a minute. Oh, my chest is really bad. I should give up the smoking, I think, the wicked weed. Oh, we got somebody back in. Hello, who's that?
Somebody with a cover over the camera.
Give them instructions on the mic if they're not familiar with it.
They'll not be familiar with it, no.
No, the symbol to the left of the red telephone at the bottom. If you press that, if it's on mute.
Are they still here?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Hello there. Who's that?
Hello.
Is that you, Tracy?
It's me.
Is that Tracy?
It is.
Hi, Tracy. It's Jeff here.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not too bad. Got a bit of a chest infection at the moment. I've come down with a bit of bronchitis. But apart from that, not too bad.
I figured it out.
Hey?
I figured it out. I had to rush home. I totally forgot about time differences.
Ah, right. Yeah, I think you're about 5 hours behind us where you are, Tracy.
Yes, I am. I was all set for 8 o'clock, though, let me tell you.
Ah, right. So, hang on. I got to do the math. It's
1
o'clock here, so it's about 5 p.m. where you are then.
Yes.
Oh, right. Well, we got a few people with us, Tracy. We've got say hello to PJ and Stav. And PJ, Stav, Ollie's not with us at the moment. He's gone off somewhere. And Jouster. PJ, Stav and Jouster we got with us. If you want to say hello to any of those.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
You alright, Tracy?
I'm not here, Jeff.
Oh, sorry, Paul. We got Paul with us as well.
Hello, Tracy.
Hi, guys. While this was all going, I was trying to watch a little bit. Just saw a little bit of the beginning. And so I was listening to some of the stories in the beginning and the who played the beautiful music in the beginning? I couldn't remember.
That was Paul.
It's Paul.
That was beautiful.
That would be our Paul. He's related to the mountain man, Jim Bridger.
It was. No, that was beautiful.
I try my best.
Have you heard of the famous mountain man, Jim Bridger?
Yes, Robin told me all about it.
Ah, you're famous, Paul.
She did.
Well, I thought I'd stay on.
No, I was just in the middle of.
My head's banging a bit, so I'm going to have to dive out. I just held on to meet you, Tracy. So do call in a bit more frequently, won't you?
Sure thing.
Okay, see you then, guys.
Cheers, Paul. Take care, mate.
There, Paul. Nice.
Yeah, we often come here for a little natter. We do the odd little show and things like that, Tracy, and you're always welcome to come in and join us. Anytime you feel up to it, or you want to come in and have a natter. We do get a bit political in here, like different things. I have to warn you.
Yeah, she told me that was the case. So
yeah, well, we've got a sort of I won't say political. We're sort of, I think more or less some of us are political, like Stav and me. We're sort of political atheists in a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
But we're sort of we're up for fighting the system, if you know what I mean, because we've got a pretty corrupt system here in the UK, and I think things are on the up slightly with Trump over there.
Oh, you know it.
I think is he making a good difference over there, Tracy?
Can I throw in a disclaimer? I love our government.
You are.
I'm going to throw in a disclaimer. I love our system. It's great.
You love it.
Sarcasm, Jeff. Sarcasm.
I'm going to say, don't believe that for a minute. Jouster is putting on that.
No, she was definitely an outspoken one about that. That is for sure.
Yes, indeed. Lopi was very passionate about things like that. And
I'm not sure how much you catch earlier on, Tracy, but we've listened to a last podcast that she did on another show. Had a few laughs and, you know, reminisced on past when she's been on and a few other things, haven't we? But the only thing that we've not really talked about and discussed, if you can still hear me, is you know, the final few weeks really when you know that you spent with her. She did come on, but it weren't as much as often were it for past, I'd say, past week especially. I didn't hear from her at all. Yeah, I think about a couple of days after her birthday, then that was last time I spoke to her.
Yeah, those honestly, she was she was actually really good. Mainly there was a lot of talking with me. We had been not talking for a very long time, and she was very happy until, you know, she had stopped, until she started to feel really bad. She the last few days there, I would say, let's see, she had her birthday over at Elsa's with my dad and stuff on Sunday. I had her over on Saturday, to my house on Saturday, and that was I don't know, she had dreamed of coming over to my house forever. So that was a good time for her. And then throughout that week, I just made sure that she was not alone. So I was always talking to her on the phone. It was me or my husband. We were always on the phone with her. We were always talking to her that whole entire week. I was over there all night Wednesday. I went and got her back Saturday. So I just kept her busy. I just kept her super busy, and I made sure she was never alone. So I didn't mean to take her from you guys, but I just made sure she was constantly busy and always happy. You know, I didn't give her a chance to be upset or sad or, you know, anything. So she had a fantastic week. There was just no doubt about it. She had a great week. And Saturday, she had a great day. She was over here all day Saturday. And I took her back Saturday night, and I stayed the night with her Saturday night. And Sunday was really the last day that she was coherent at all. And then from that point on, she was not really coherent anymore. And then she passed away Tuesday morning. So
did she have a lot of pain, or was that sort of,
no, I would say let's see, I would say it was maybe Sunday was when we started morphine and Ativan to keep her comfortable. And it was so much so that even her legs were not hurting her anymore.
Oh, that's good.
So, because even, you know, before that started, you know, she would always have some leg pain, and I'm sure, you know, you guys knew even when she would sleep, her legs would hurt and things from the neuropathy that she had and things. But even from, I would say, midday Sunday on, that even had stopped with the morphine and the Ativan. So.
Oh, that's good. So she didn't suffer any pain then
No.
the drugs and that. I'm glad about that.
No, and the hospice nurses, I would call them over to the house anytime she started to look like she had any kind of whenever she would heck, I called them over whenever I wasn't happy, to be honest. They probably got tired of me. Because I didn't leave. I was with her from Saturday night on. I didn't leave the house. So, and whenever I felt she wasn't comfortable, I called them right back over. I don't care. I didn't care what time of night it was. If she looked uncomfortable, I called them back. And I mean, even if she was just, sleeping uncomfortably a little bit. There was the one night they were out all night Sunday. They were all day Sunday because we just weren't sure what was going on. She was suddenly just very lethargic. She was very, very lethargic. She didn't really want to get up and do anything. That was the first day she didn't get out of bed, was Sunday. And so we called them out.
Yeah.
And that's when they gave her the medicines. And they left about, 6 o'clock that evening. And my husband and I noticed that even with the Ativan and the morphine, she wasn't sleeping very soundly. And my husband and I called him back out just a few hours later. And we're like, she is not sleeping well. This is not acceptable. Something's got to be done. And they increased the medications. And then she was sound again. So.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you were there for her anyway, Tracy, and fighting for her corner.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always worried about that because, she suffered a lot in life with her diabetes and that. And
she did.
Didn't like the thought of her suffering with, the kidneys packing up and all that.
It was rough. She did have, she was uncomfortable for some of the days, but she didn't, she would take some of the pain medications that would help her a little bit and feel a little bit better. But I really tried to just kind of keep her occupied. I was at work throughout the week, but I would call her through the day and check on her, and I would text her and just try to keep her super busy so she wasn't thinking about it. And then as soon as I got home, I was on the phone with her. My husband was on the phone with her, and she was so happy with that
I think
it was great.
That you kept her mind occupied in that as well. So I think that's,
yeah.
Thank you for doing that, Tracy. Really.
No, she needed it, and so I did what I could. I just wanted her to be happy, even if it was just, there at the end.
The last time I spoke to Lopi was on Ollie's show, The Daily Brexit. I think it is his Billy bonus edition. That was the last time I actually got to speak to Lopi. And we had a funny night that night, funny conversation. And that was the last time I spoke to her. So I don't know what date that was, but it's quite a way back. I suppose a couple of weeks,
She never. I tell you though, we had many conversations about you guys because she loved all of you, and she would tell me all about you guys because I wanted to know everything I could about everything that she did. She was very, you all know her. Oh my goodness. She was very outspoken and held nothing back. And, so when her and I would talk, I would want to know everything about all of her. And you guys, all of you, just, you made her world. I mean, she loved it. She loved every aspect of it. She loved talking to all of you. She loved that she had you all to talk to. She had nothing but good things to say about all of you, about the fun times and the laughs. And Robin loves a good argument. And she loved when she could talk to you. Sorry, I call her Robin. I am so sorry. I can't get over that. I apologize. but no, she loved that she knew that's her thing. She loved being able to debate things with people.
Yes, she did.
Loved it.
Debate. She absolutely. She thrives on a good debate, and she could talk she could talk the hind legs off of a donkey, so to speak.
She could.
When I talk, I get going. I'm pretty bad, but Lopi, God blimey, she could leave me. She could talk for England, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was astonished, you know, when some of the things that she would say. And how in the world do you know these things? How do you? I would just be amazed at some of the things that she would talk about, and I don't even know how she would know them. She studied. Her mind was incredible.
It was indeed. She's very, very bright girl. She did a lot of studying and researching for the shows that we did, the Axiom show and the Daily Brexit, and you know, she was very passionate about that. And
indeed,
of course, she was very passionate about animals, as you know, Tracy.
Absolutely.
I mean, on the last show, I think it's the last show on his show or the one before, she was going on about the saving the bees, which is important. She had a lot of, you know, she was very, very much the activist, if you like. And,
if she believed in something, she would push it and push it and push it.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, carry on.
Right, Stav, welcome back. Say hello to Tracy, Stav.
Oh, is that Tracy? Hello, Tracy. I'd like to pass on my condolences. I'd like to pass on my condolences and everything. I'd just like to say I only knew her for a short time, but it was like a breath of fresh air. And I'm privileged. I feel privileged that I knew her very much, and she kind of expanded my knowledge quite a bit. And I'm an old chap. And so, yeah, my condolences, Tracy.
Well, my condolences to all of you, because like I said, you meant you all meant so much to her. And she wouldn't have, really, you kept her going. I mean, she didn't have, you know, you guys were her family, and that was kind of the way that it was. And she depended on you to get her through her days just as much as she depended on anybody else. So you guys all were just as big a part of her as we were. So
she did say she used to have this reoccurring dream about all of us, and she said I dreamt I won the lottery or whatever you call it in the States, you know, and she had plenty of money, and she bought a big castle in the English countryside, and everybody lived in the castle, and everybody had their own part, but we'd all used to meet up for dinners, and she, you know, she recognized my two dogs and their names and my partner as well and everything, and everybody was there, and who knows, maybe we will meet up in a big castle sometime, somehow, you never know, but she's that was a dream that she had, and it's quite a recurrent dream. So I kind of recognise the fact that we did like to feel that we meant a bit to her. She meant an awful lot to us in such a short time, but she'd done some great shows with us, and she was the centre of most, if not all, of the shows we'd done, because she had so much to say. And she did teach me quite a lot about the American Constitution and even the English royal family, and it was enlightening to say the least, you know.
I can promise you, if she had the money to do it, I guarantee you she would have done it.
Yeah, bless her, I'm sure. Yeah. I think what it was with this castle thing, when Lopi lived here, we went over to a place called Berkeley Castle, which was up near Gloucestershire, and she fell in love with that castle. And she always said, "That's our castle, Jeff." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She considered it a castle. She's like the Queen of England when she talks about that.
She was telling me that story, Jeff, just the other day. So don't think she didn't still think it, because she told me that just the other day. we were going through all of her pictures, and actually that was Friday night last week. We were going through all of her pictures, and yeah, that was one of the things she said, that was me and Jeff's castle.
That's right.
Yep. She told me that just Friday when we were going through all of her pictures.
That's right.
But she was telling me all about her time in England and all about everything, and yeah, that's right.
Oh, bless her. I know. We went to Stonehenge, and where else was it? Glastonbury tour. Managed to go up Glastonbury tour. You know, she had problems with her leg. Managed to help her all the way up Glastonbury tour, and she loved it. And what else was it? Oh, blimey. Berkeley Castle. We went up to the place where Shakespeare was, Stratford, where Shakespeare was born, Stratford-on-Avon. Oh, blimey, we went all over the place, visiting different sites and things like that. And she loved the English countryside. But she sort of considered herself to be English.
Oh, no, she did. It's not sort of. She did. Period.
Even though she was like ethnically Taiwanese and
oh, I know. She
living
that girl.
But mind you, she lived in a few places, didn't she? She lived in America. She lived in Turkey. She lived in
Germany.
Germany. That's it. Ramstein, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So she is a lady of the world.
Yeah, it just made it all the more crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think she lived a very full life, actually. Trace.
She did.
She did live a very full life. And she didn't hold back. What she said to do, she did. You know. Which was quite a brave lady, I've always said. A very brave lady. Whatever she set out to do, she'd do it.
That's true. That's true. She definitely brave.
Yes,
she deserved a lot. I think she deserved a lot more than what she got. That's for sure. But she made the most of what she did have.
Indeed, and she definitely had a spirit of adventure about her.
That she did. That she did. That she did. She was something else. Something to behold.
Indeed. Putting it lightly.
I'm just glad some other people in this world have experienced her vengeance besides myself. So
oh, I've definitely been on her wrath list at some point, at a few points in time.
Yeah, we all heard it a few times, didn't we?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. We always behaved Lopi. We're always like a married couple, weren't we? Whenever we chat, we always like rowing about different stuff and that. Me and Lopi were like a married couple in so many ways, you know.
Somebody else was on the other end. I just learned to just let her win. I didn't even try because I couldn't win an argument with her anyway. So
same here.
Yeah.
I know where you're coming from there, Trace. Definitely.
But we had some funny times and some sad times and some. Do you remember when you stuck the Wurzels on? Was it Blackbird song and we had a sing song and?
Oh yeah, Blackbird I'll Abbey. That's the one.
I'll Abbey, yeah. so it wasn't all history and political, and it was pretty much everything. Anything went, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Once Lopi got in discussion, I think it was with you, Jeff, about is it with the medical and biology and astrophysics and left me behind. I just had to listen because I was astounded on the amount of information you guys were knocking between each other. You know, it was
I'll tell you what, actually, I'd like to play that song because Lopi was very much a West Country Bristol girl, and he was very fond of that song. Could I play that as a to Lopi?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Okie dokie, thank you, Stab. I'll play that. Okay, here we go. Lopi loved this song actually, and it always reminded her of being in Bristol. So here we go.
Where be a piper too, I know where he be. He be up your world tree, and I be after thee. Now I see thee, and you see thy, wonder if I don't ken. Will the curtain stick out up and down? Blackbird, I'll have thee. I'll be father, alright. All me life I'm on the farm, working for me cheap. Tending pigs and chickens, and the cows and sheep. But everywhere I'm working, there's one who always mocks me. He's hiding somewhere in the trees. Blackbird, I'll have thee. Where be a blackbird too? I know where he be. He be up young Wurzel tree, and I be after thee. Now I see thee, and he sees I. Where if I don't ken, there is sick on up and down. Blackbird, I'll have thee. Early powder, all right. Underneath the open sky in spring we'll upstein. We like to hear the flapping of the missus walking line. We listens to a tuneful song, a blackbird or a tent. But on me vest and underpants, he scored a direct hit. Where be a blackbird too? I know where he be. He be on your Wurzel tree, and I be after thee. Now I see thee, and he sees I. Wonder if I don't ken. With a happy stick on up and down. Blackbird, I'll have thee. Early power, all right. If I goes out poaching, creeping through the fields, with me old retriever, following at the heels. If I aim me shotgun and a pheasant in the hay, that bloody blackbird start his row and frightens them away. Where be a blackbird too? I know where he be. He be up young Wurzel tree, and I'll be after thee. Now I see thee, and he sees I. Wonder if I don't ken. With her big stick on up and down. Blackbird, I'll have thee. Howdy, father. Hunger in a sleep at night, it be so any kind. That bird will be the death of me, he's preying on me mind. If I chase him long enough, I'll get him by and by, and celebrate me victory with a big blackbird pie. Where be a blackbird too? I know where he be. He be on young Wurzel tree, and I be after thee. Now I see thee, and he sees I. Wonder if I don't ken. With a garping stick on up and down. Blackbird, I'll have thee. With a garping stick on up and down. Blackbird, I'll have thee. Howdy, father, all right.
You love the old Wurzels.
Yes, I remember when you was playing that, she had a vid camera on and she was dancing away and singing away to it. Do you remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
The Wurzels.
Yeah.
Green Cutney cider, wasn't it? That was one of them.
Yeah, she used to say, I didn't want you to see my baby orangutan haircut. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
In a fat head. Joey's used to go about a fat head.
That's right, a fat head, yeah.
Fat head, didn't you? Plastic cotton sock.
Yeah, Mommy said, well, I'll never forget her. Always listening back to that song and instantly just remind you of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds just like her. It just sounds like a song she was just, yeah.
Oh yeah, she got well into all the old West Country type stuff while she was here. And, she loved all that.
Did she, Tracy? Did she speak to Anstey in the end?
Did she what?
Did she speak to? Did she mention Anstey?
She mentioned Anstey.
Yeah, he was the Nigerian guy later on who came as a carer.
Oh yeah. She did.
Yeah, oh, she did. Because she was so worried how she was going to speak to him about what she decided and everything. I'm glad she
Yeah,
did.
she did.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't, from what I understand, he wasn't very accepting of it.
No. I wouldn't think he would have been.
Yeah, he didn't, he wanted her to fight.
Yes.
So.
I think that's what she was trying to say is that, she put it off for quite a while.
Yeah, that is exactly what she said in that video that she left, because it did get to her when, she didn't want people to think that she was a quitter, because that wasn't in Lopi at all.
Yeah.
That bothered her, and that's what she wanted to get across.
She did put up a big fight for a very, very long time because she suffered with the neuropathy, which, she used to black out all the time and stuff like this. She had problems with cataracts, and she had problems with her feet and all sorts, and her kid as well as her kidneys, and she had a congestive heart problem as well, I believe. And so she was a fighter, no doubt about that. She fought for a very, very long time.
No, and I tried like hell. I'm not gonna lie. I tried like hell to get her to change her mind, just to stay with me a little bit longer. I tried. She and I weren't able to
persuade her otherwise.
Be, we weren't able to be in each other's lives for most of our adult life. It was a tough decision, but it was a decision my husband and I made just because Robin is Robin. Mm-hmm. And it was a decision that my husband and I made for our children. And she was wild, and that was a little much around our kids at the time.
Right.
Robin eventually grew to understand that. But now my children are older, and I'm finally to a point where I can have her in my life, and now she's leaving. And, I begged her to stay with me a little longer. And she did not want to be like my mother, and
I think I tried to persuade her of that, Trace, to be honest. But we said, if she decided that was what she wanted to do, that we would put the word out and try and get her a donor transplant and a donor. And we would have put it out, shouted it from the hilltops, all of us, I think, including on Ollie's show and what have you, because Ollie would have helped her as well. And she was very determined. So at the end, all we could do was sort of respect her wishes,
Right. And I did as well, of course. Once I tried and failed and tried again and failed again, and I tried for a few. Probably the first week that she and I were talking back, the first week or so, I probably tried many times. And then once I realized that she's just
No, I think we've lost Tracy there.
I think we may have. We got her back, Tracy?
I think so.
Yeah,
nope, maybe not.
You're back.
Okay.
Yeah, a few connectivity.
Yeah, there we go. No, I tried, and then once I realized that she just is not going to change her big stubborn head, I just had to go with it, So, but the last thing she wanted to be was like our mother and have to depend on everybody for everything. So.
Yeah, that she expressed that sentiment to me, that she didn't want to be a burden on anybody, and and she used to say about wanting to be with her mum again, and because she used to have depression every January. She used to
definitely,
because that's when you lost your mum, wasn't it? Back in January, in a January, I think.
Yep.
And she had her own ideas, and
yep.
and that was Robin for you.
Yep. And there was no change in that mind of hers.
No, she's very willful, Lopi. And once she made up her mind, that was it. You know. She said also, when we said about getting her an organ transplant, she said she didn't want to take it away from somebody who would have more chance of survival than her, because she had health problems and all that as well. So she thought that was, you know, she'd be taking it away from somebody who'd be more deserving of it, which I told her was silly. But, you know, I told her that you're just as anybody else, and, you know, but she had her own ideas on that. So.
Of course.
Yeah. Joester, you got anything to say about Lopi? You've been very quiet all night.
No, I'm just listening to him. I'm just listening.
All right, mate.
Go remember, I didn't know her that well as you lot, so.
Yeah, but you knew her a bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
You knew her character.
Oh yeah, I knew her character. Yeah.
Larger than life, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to be uncouth and repeat what my favourite saying of hers was.
No, please do. Please do.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Trust me.
No, it involves swearing. I can't do it. Sorry.
No, you have to.
No. It just used to make me giggle when she used to keep Jeff in line. That's all. She used to have some really favourite sayings. You know, when her and Jeff used to go at each other quite a bit. And, yeah. And she's almost like, I could just imagine slapping him around the back of the head. Shut up, Jeff. Jesus, you know, it was a little bit more harsh. I'm actually being quite polite in the way I phrase things as well.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Oh,
I don't doubt that.
Yeah. In fact, the one time she said something, I carried on mocking Jeff with it for about 3 weeks afterwards. It was shut the Jeff.
Shut the FUCK up.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Every chance she could get. Oh my goodness, she didn't hold anything back. Like I agree with you. And
another one was you're talking, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm talking. Effing.
Yeah.
She didn't pull her.
That used to make me laugh. That did.
She didn't pull her punches, Lopi.
I think it was because I used to hear it from a woman. That was all. I don't know.
The only person who ever come on here, Jeff, who called you Jeffrey.
Yes, Jeffrey. Yes.
Yeah. That was her punishing speech when she called Jeffrey. Jeffrey.
Wasn't it Jeffrey? Wasn't it something Jeffrey Humperdinck or something?
That's it. You got it, Stan.
Yeah, Jeffrey Humperdinck.
They used to call me Jeffrey Percival Humperdinck.
Oh my goodness.
I just used to moot up once you got going. I thought, well, I'm not getting involved.
Keep it
no, I'm gonna get involved. She used to try and bring me in. Stab, can you speak? Can you? Oh my God, no, I don't think I should get involved.
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of heated debates, and we had lots of open dialogue, though, and it was all great. It was all good stuff.
Hey, and then you used to chuck each other off, didn't you?
Oh yeah, she'd boot me out of the room, and then I come back in and boot her out of the room, and then we keep booting each other out of the room for like.
Oh my goodness!
But the thing is, look, when I first met Lopi, I met her on Yahoo Chat, and we used to go in Yahoo Chat, and we used to. Well, first of all, I learned how to do booting, which was script kiddie thing, where we used to boot people out of the room. And we used to packet bomb them, which is like a denial of service attack, yeah? It's like, imagine getting emails pop up, and they pop up all over your screen at the same time, and it freezes your computer up. That's what it was. That's the sort of thing I learned how to do. And I taught Lopi how to do it. She ended up booting me, and I ended up booting her on Yahoo Chat. And we also, and then, you know, all chaos ensued. It was fun. It was good fun.
Oh my goodness.
I taught Lopi how to be a script kiddie. Well,
yeah, some good times.
yes,
Yeah, she was a character, that's for sure. And she held nothing back, man. If you pissed her off, you were in for it. You better hit the hills, because she was gonna get you, man. You were done for.
Well, they used to run for the hills when Lopi came. Well, before she was known as Lopi, she was known as Robin, obviously. And when we were in UK 25, Robin came in the room. They'd say, "Oh no, it's Robin here. She's probably going to boot us."
Yeah.
Used to start panicking because she was pretty good at booting Lopi. I taught her how to make bots. And I taught her some bad habits, actually, but all good fun.
You gave her tools. You gave her tips. All she needed was tools to go along with that.
Exactly.
That fight.
As tough as Lopi were, she had a gentle side. She used to come in.
Oh.
Go, hey, Lopi. She'd go, hello, my darlings.
Yep.
She used to say, hello, Stavvy. I said, don't speak to me like that. I'm old enough to be your dad. And then she said, okay, sir. She sorted out a few people on Ollie's show, though, 2 or 3. Well, we know about, what's his name? Vince. Vince, can I finish, please?
Okay.
Okay.
Bless you. If you're listening, Vince, bless you, mate. You're a good guy.
Never get a copy of that. If you ever find out where that is and you can get a copy of that, you want to pass that on to Tracy so she can hear that show, because I think Tracy would enjoy that.
Yeah, try and find it.
You absolutely savaged Vince, didn't she?
Oh my gosh.
I did try to find it, like I said, but
Vince. You didn't know what he was up against, Vince, when he come up against Lopi.
Sorry, Tracy, I don't want to sound like this is cutting it short. You've really got on, but you can stay on and talk. We're going to be closing up to 3 hours in the next 15 minutes. So I thought for the final 15 minutes of this talk, we just give his farewell messages to Lopi and any thoughts that we all want to say.
You guys feel free. I have told you guys. The biggest thing I just want you guys all to know is how much she absolutely loved all of you. I mean, she just told me she just absolutely loved all of you guys. And
well, I think Tracy's got connectivity problems again.
No, I don't have connectivity problems.
Oh.
Well, the feeling was very mutual with all of us, Tracy. We're gonna miss her desperately, and but she's always there. She's always there, and I'll always have fond memories. Well, I would say every day. There's not a day I don't go by where I look at something and I can hear Lopi. So she's left her mark well and truly with us, and I'm thankful for that. So there we are.
She was very good at leaving her mark. That is for sure.
Oh,
A beautiful heart and a beautiful soul.
Yes, definitely. No doubts. So, yeah. Well, that's my thoughts of Lopi was as briefly as I knew her. It seemed like I'd known her all her life. And what we found, Tracy, is we're kind of out of the box. All of us in this group, we're not mainstream, that's for sure. And Lopi certainly never fitted into the mainstream. She was more. So we all had. So the day Jeff introduced us to Lopi, everything we all fit together because we're kind of alternative type thinkers. So we all have something in common to start with, and Lopi certainly had that. So it was like she's a big sister or a little sister. I would say a little sister because I'm a lot older, but like a big sister to most people. And she just fitted in from the get-go because we're all very similar in our group. And
that stuff, I think that's because we've all got a sort of rebellious side to us, haven't we?
Yeah, we kept our teenage years inside. We carried on with it, I guess. Yeah.
And Lopi was, of course, a rebel without a cause. Well, she did have a cause, but the archetype without a cause. And she was a very powerful rebel. So
she always brought loads to every show, didn't she? I mean, you'd say, "Come on, what's the topic going to be for Sunday?" And she'd do her research, and you always knew Lopi had about 100 screen shares to do her stuff. So it was great. It was great. I mean, one of the best shows I think was the Golden Rule. I think the Golden Rule she enjoyed.
Do you remember that show that she had loads of information? She was really looking forward to do it, and either a connection or a computer went, and she had to go out and get a new laptop, and she went and did it.
Yes.
She missed out on that episode. She had got everything prepared.
I know. What was it now? Can you remember?
She never did it.
Ah, right, yeah. But we had some great ones on the Magna Carta, Golden Rule, the American Constitution, and the amendments, and it was good, very good. They were all good shows. Really enjoyed. She brought a hell of a lot to the show as usual. Lots of information, and no, she's going to be Tracy. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a thing called blockchain on the internet ether, we call it. The blockchain recordings will never be destroyed. They will go on forever. So many of the recordings of our shows we've done, PJ uploaded them to a decentralized, could we say, platform, which really isn't run by the government. The government can't run it. But anyway, it's not the dark net or anything like that. It's a thing of the future. So she'll be there in the future. And people will be listening to her, so she'll go on and on and on. So that's something. I don't think about that, PJ. The blockchain uploads. It's
left a legacy.
Yes, definitely. So technology has a good side, most definitely. There's a thought, PJ.
Yeah. We've got Ollie back.
Hey guys.
Yay, he's back.
We've got Tracy with us, Ola. It's Lopi's
Hi,
sister.
Tracy. Condolences, Tracy. He was lovely. He was lovely, was Lopi. She was my word, what a card. What a character. So, well, it was lovely to know her. It was really, really lovely to know her. She was cool. She was really, really cool. It was quite stunning and very special heart. Are you based in Ohio, Tracy? Or are you elsewhere?
No, I'm in Ohio. Yeah, I'm in Ohio.
Okay. You sound a bit like your sister. Similar vocal cords. I was telling the guys, Tracy, because I know that your sister was really, really wonderful with animals. Absolutely adored animals. Probably a lot more than humans, and quite right too. And we, in the last few days since your sister died, a family of cats came into my garden here. Mum brought her about 1 week old, maximum 2 weeks, cat, a couple of kittens, into the garden and set up shop. And they're all happy and what have you. You know, being careful because they're semi-feral, so keeping distance, you know, but making sure they're okay. Making sure mum's got a bit of water. And anyway, I don't know. I was thinking calling them Lopi and Lou. These two little kittens. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether they'll hang around for long. They'll maybe. I wouldn't be surprised though if they did pop back and say hi. I'd be surprised.
Mind them being called Loopy instead of Lopi, actually, because her sort of ID on UK chat rooms in Yahoo was Lopi the Loopy. She's got a bit of a Loopy character about her, like, you know. And,
speaking of cats, Tracy, how's Ziggy?
She's actually getting along pretty well. We've got her. I'm trying to just kind of keep her. She's kind of keeping to a corner in the living room. But she's doing really well, actually. She actually explored a little bit of the house today, so she's doing much better than the first couple of days. I mean, the trauma that this poor little baby, has had to go through.
How old is
great.
she?
Rum said she's about 6. So, but yeah, losing your mama and then coming to a strange house has got to be awful. But no, she's doing real well, and she's eating and drinking and purring like crazy when we talk to her, and she still gets plenty of sweeties. So, no, she's doing really well. But I didn't let her stay over there and be alone, and Robin was deathly afraid that my dad would get her and declaw her, so I made sure that didn't happen. So she's here and getting along.
Very grateful for that. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
She used to have conversations with Ziggy, again. For like 1 minute we'd think she's still talking to us, but she's...
Yep.
So you must keep up talking to Ziggy, because that's definitely something that Robin used to do quite a lot.
Yeah, no, little Ziggy's here, and she's doing really well. I expect she'll do just fine. Just going to take her a little time to adjust, and I do feel she's definitely mourning as well.
Yeah. She's very...
Ziggy knew.
Sorry, go ahead, Trace.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, I remember the time when it's a time of year where Ziggy was looking for a boyfriend, and she was very vociferous, if you could say that. And yeah. Hang on a minute, what? She said, "Oh no, it'll be about a week, Stav." I said, "Oh, all right then, whatever." And she would be making this noise, and then it went into 2 weeks. I said, "I thought it was going to be a week," and that. She goes, "I know," she said, "but she's desperate for a boyfriend." And she talked about getting her a toy.
Oh my goodness, that sounds exactly like her.
I said, well, would you like to expand? Oh, no, don't bother, Lopi, you know. But, yeah. Was it? It was. Oh, vibrating panties or stuff. Oh, I don't know. I said, that's enough of that now. But, yeah, Siggy was very loud at times, especially when she. But she said, I feel guilty because I'm not getting her a boyfriend or something. Oh, yeah, very funny. Very funny. I said I'll send Jeff over.
Oh my goodness. No, that sounds exactly like her.
She had a cracking sense of humor. That's for
sure. Indeed. Indeed.
Jeff would say wicked, but
what's that stuff?
I said, yeah. I said she certainly had a cracking sense of humor, and I said you'd probably say wicked at times.
Yeah.
Wicked. It was fun. It was fun. I was just a spectator though most of the time.
Naughty but nice.
Sorry?
I said wicked but fun and naughty but nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And she held absolutely nothing back.
Jeff, I think most 99% of the time was always the sparring partner. he used to get beaten up quite good and proper, I think. But it was done in mostly a humorous way. And, it was wicked.
I to get it in the neck.
Oh, brilliant.
Punching bag.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. It was.
Poor Jeff. It sounds like Jeff took a beating.
Well, I think Jeff.
He deserves it. Don't give him sympathy.
As if I'd have been KO'd in the second round, I expect, with Lopi.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't as bad as Ollie. He got death threats.
I still never read the end of that. That'd be good to hear.
She must have really loved you if you got death threats.
It was a purely sign of affection.
Right.
No, he was wonderful. He was wonderful. Yeah, but she did. Yeah, no, she didn't hold back, as you say. Yeah. She didn't really have a filter, did she?
No, absolutely not. And she never had a filter. Not from the time when we were little girls to ever.
She also spoke a lot of sense, though. Yeah, I mean, she really did have, to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
She did have a filter. She had a filter and she called it Frank.
Well, she spoke a lot of sense. Wow. She didn't take any crap.
Mm-mm.
When was her service, Tracy?
Well, my dad is doing something. I'm not sure what he's doing. So there was trouble there. So I'm not sure what he's doing. My family and I are going to do something tomorrow.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Did you say that
there was issues there?
Did you say that you collected Robin's ashes?
I am going to get them next week.
Right.
So now I talk with Mike from the funeral home called me Thursday, and they did everything Thursday. Oh, my days are running together. They did everything Thursday, I believe. And then he's going to call me next week, and we're set up a time, and he's going to come out and bring her out to me. So.
Well, good
So
luck.
I will have her. Yes. And then from that point, I'm going to keep some of her, and we're going to spread the rest of her. So.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I'm just looking at the picture with the Stonehenge. She loved that place. Did you take that picture then, Jeff? Is that one that you took?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Took pictures of Stonehenge. There's photos of her at Berkeley Castle, and don't know if I got any photos of her at Glastonbury tour, but we got photos of the surrounding areas of the tour. And what else was it? Oh, we got photos all over the place, you know.
I'll see if I can find a few just to show.
I took one of the photos and it made it look as though...
I'll put a few up for audience. They'll be able to view these photos.
I deliberately took one of the photographs of Stonehenge, so it made it look as though she had Stonehenge balanced on her bonds.
I've not seen that one. I'm just displaying a few to viewers now. Some photos of Lopi that I collected up. What's that, root beer? Yeah, the photo with a root beer.
See if I can find that picture to share of Lopi at Stonehenge. I can find it. I mean, it takes some doing finding that. There's so many of them. No, that's not it. Almost.
That little smile.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'll screen share it for you. Don't know if you can see this. Tell me if you can see this. This is Lopi with Stonehenge balanced precariously on top of her head. We've got some funny stories about that day out that we had as well. Yeah, I won't go into that, but it is quite a funny day out.
Yeah, Jeff, don't go into that. You'll get yourself into even more hot water, mate.
I know. He had some fun days out. They wouldn't let us in to actually. It's all fenced off around Stonehenge now, for some reason.
You know, somebody told me it was like £16 to go up and.
It is £16.50 to get in.
But by the time we got out there, it was just about closing anyway, so we didn't get a chance to go in.
Jump the fence. You should have jumped the fence.
Well, I would have done, but it'd been a bit difficult for Lopi, but we had the security guard. We had a big debate with the security guard as well. And that's another story, but
oh God.
Anyway, there you go.
Alright, guys. Thank you all for joining tonight. It's been a real pleasure. Enjoyed every moment. Tracy, thank you. Ola, thank you for also taking part and helping me try and put this together. Stav, your input as normal. Jouster,
Yeah,
Paul, and a few others that have been on.
Thank you, PJ. Thanks for doing that. Beautiful.
yeah, well done.
Thanks for joining us, Tracy.
Thank you all for everything for her. Thank you for being there for her. Thank you for being her friends. Thank you
Yeah,
so
likewise,
much.
Tracy. Especially for those last days. Much grateful for that.
Yeah, thanks for standing by her, Trace. We really do appreciate that. I think you were, you kept your mind active and busy, which was a good thing, so we do appreciate that. Thanks very much, and condolences to you, Tracy, and
thank you.
Condolences to Tim as well, and Mary, and if you could pass on my sentiments.
I did tell my dad that.
That's good.
So I did tell him that.
Okay. Alright, guys. Nearly 3 hours on this, so I'm going to end the live stream, but I'm going to continue with the room. So if you're wanting to stay about, please feel free to, and get some refreshments. But I'll end this now. Thank you again, guys. And farewell, Lopi. Fly high, and no doubt listen to you soon in your podcasts and gather all that information that you left for people for all different avenues, parts of life that no doubt majorities are going to face if we've not already faced them. And she addressed them, especially diabetes, raised a lot of awareness.
Just one little thing before we
Sure,
fire up.
yeah.
Lopi, I don't think it'll be that many more years. I'll be up there with you, darling, and up in that big Berkeley castle in the sky. I'll be with you. Just be patient. I won't be too long, I don't think. Because my health's terrible as well.
Don't forget the cards, Jeff.
Aye?
Don't forget the cards.
The cards?
Yes, so she can whop your ass at poker.
Oh, right. Yeah, she definitely do that. Much better than me at poker.
Oh, no.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, PJ.
Cheers, PJ.
Good.